Alrighty then, what is up, YouTube? This is your boy Like One Half and Duo, and uh, basically doing another random talks per se. I have a couple of little topics I could talk about, but just doing something random once again. Whew, man, trying to adjust to this new schedule of working my butt off with the promotion I had in my main job, and it's a little brutal. The whole mental factor of this is a little tough on the old brain, but hey, here's what it is. Trying to hang in there. But talking about a little bit of story that's going on in, I should say, in gaming and stuff like that. And watching, we can just see what's going on also as everybody's preparing for E3. Again, not really per se, care about it too much. Just we'll see what's coming out. Good games come out from all. If all three comes out, that'll be good. Gonna be a little bit of armchair listening from me for once because I just want to stick some. Let's say I do have a couple of topics I want to talk into and see what's going on. But with that said, those who want to jump in, I've put the link, of course, so you could jump for those who want to jump in. I put a link for those who want to jump in. So right now, seeing the most of the news that's going on again with gaming. No surprise. So seeing a lot of people ecstatic and stuff like that. Again, unlike other people, I could say I don't like stuff, but I don't speak for other people. So if people are generally happy for a couple of games that again, I apologize, but a couple of games that's coming to the Switch, and they're gonna come and they're gonna enjoy it. I wish them the best in that. Because one of the games that's been announced is Paladin. People are trying to say Fortnite should come to Switch as well too, and people were like, I've seen one review of the person like, "Oh, this will be great," and we always hate these games until it comes to our console choice, then we love them. Some cases that is true. I'm not gonna deny it. Some cases that is true. Not from me per se, but from other people, because Lisa was talking to somebody like, "Oh man, Politics is coming to the Switch," and I'm like, "Well, that's good for those who want it." You ain't excited for it? No, because again, it's another always online game. I mean, I am trying my best not to have the on. I don't want to depend on other people or the connectivity to really be enjoying games when I could just plug on a game and enjoy it. And even for me to have high internet, again, like this weekend that just passed, I pay for high internet, high speed internet, and come to find out, like I had a problem over the weekend, and I was getting basically back to dial up problem speed. I had to call a little Spectrum and find out what the hell's going on. But I was getting like 700K instead of getting my normal 300 megabits. So I was like, that's weird. Now, of course, I could still watch stuff if I'm watching videos or whatever, but I couldn't not. So I couldn't not. I could not. When I was downloading stuff, it took like ages to download. I was like, what the heck? So, like most people, if those people out there wanted those games to come, I'm happy for them if they want them, because again, it's their money, they could spend what they want. But I'm not one of those gamers who said, "Oh, this is something I want." Then say, "Oh, wow, this is great," and then the next thing you know, I don't like it. But then when it comes to my console choice, that I'm happy for it. If there's a game that comes out, and I will gladly say, "Hey, I'm generally happy for it." And if it comes to my console choice, then I'll be honest to people like, "Oh man, that's cool." And unless it's something that like legitimately should be on a console, then that makes business sense or logical sense, then yeah, that'll be a different story. That leads into, of course, one of the topics of Nintendo Strikes Again as a platform with Igarashi's new game, Blood Moon Curse, where again a platformer that kind of thrives with the community. 56% of the game 50% of the game is sold on a Nintendo Switch. And if you add in that 4%, 60% of it is sold on a Nintendo console. That leaves Steam. I think Steam was 19, 17 was PS4, and the last 4% was PS Vita. So, once again, there goes that something indie came up goes that way. Now, if Igarashi sees that, and of course, Insti Creates said that and figure out that would happen. But if Igarashi sees that, I hope he does the like I said, I hope things work out for the mainline game and see how it sells, because he was, of course, he was pushing this towards more Sony and PC at the time. And I'm thinking, and I know how PC works with certain games. I'm like, not as best as people think it's gonna be. But I am happy that this console, this game, and it's basically a cool looking game. I will pick up later on, but this game comes out, and I've seen a lot of people enjoying it. So. What's going up to LA 3 and Metal Mint? Let's see, anticipation goals. I really like the burst of indie games being announced. New Shantae game would be awesome. Also, Shantae for Smash. Hey, you never know. That could be in there. That'll get into the topic of me being an armchair analyst, and this time, unlike other people, just saying a piece of opinion and not taking over that. That'll be a little later on, but I'm gonna put myself in a hot chair and be armchair analyst, but knowing that I'm doing this. So, but going back to what I was saying, like I said, Curse of the Blood Moon, that game came out doing very well. I'm happy for how it is going out for them. I hope, like I said, he reflects and see what's going on, and he chooses the right way to do this game, because the art style of the main game doesn't pop at me. But again, if the game's fun, the game's fun. So we'll see how that works out. We'll see how that works out. Night Parchment seems to be the new Gauntlet Legend type of gameplay. Yes, I've seen that, and I'm happy that they gave the trailer to add more content to the game with the challenges, and that's pretty awesome. That's good. Happy to see that they're really doing a good job on that. The indie scene has been blowing up on the Nintendo Switch. It really has. That is basically, to be honest, that is the true third party. They've been doing it more. Thank you, freaking Google. And they force you to this crap. That is messed up. I don't. What the? Okay, sorry. I'm trying to do something, and Google just like now they do something, and they're literally forcing stuff that like I said, I can't. Because I'm looking for a product, and it's just killing me. Good God. Anyway. No. Thank you. All right, there we go. That's what I wanted to get some information here. So we have let's see. The indie scene has become really the true third party, and it's been nestling, and it has been nestling from since the Wii U. But a lot of people won't give the Wii U the credit because of everybody has this non-fiction of the Wii U was a failure, which it was not financially a failure, but again, it's kind of hard to teach people how to think logically or use simple sense. So that's one of those things that is annoying. But they've been fostering, I have to give it to, like I said, shout outs. They've been fostering a good indie relationship from since the Wii U, and it's been paying off like crazy. And for the Switch. And Nine Parchment again is Gauntlet like a little different because more, of course, more what do you call it? More just the paladins and just making things like that. It's not like you have an archer or a Valkyrie and all that other stuff. But hey, I might pick up this game later on. Not no time soon because I mean the indie scene has been just amazing with all these different types of games coming in, and it's again. I hope they don't. As I said, Nintendo do the best job they can, and of course, it's going to with a certain way, of course. But I hope they do the best job they can to foster and make sure it doesn't happen like what's going on with Steam, because Steam is basically becoming a big pile of crap. And I do mean that. I'm trying to stay your game audience appeal. Help. Of course, mailman. Only mailman. I'm trying to release your game to an audience. It appeals to helps with sales. That's blasphemy. Anything is freaking amazing on the 3DS, Wii U, and Switch. It is. You're right about that. Three. It is on the scene because again, another game coming to the 3DS, the console. People want them to die, which is I think is Mario. Damn it, Wario Party. Gold. That's coming to the 3DS. So pretty happy that that's coming, and for those who like Wario, and I know my sister's a big Wario fan, so see how that works out. And again, looking at it, taking the time for that. I think it also helped that they bring. Oh, sorry. I think it also helps they are being post side a powerful IP like Nintendo titles. Don't have a big competition from AAA is helping foster indie games on the Switch. That is not a bad assessment, sir. You're right in that. That is a factor. Not say is not, but is a factor. It is a factor because they are doing they have they have a healthy competition, like I said, in eShop. Speaking of that, oh man, I need to get my Switch because I need to. There's been an update and something did change on the eShop, and I need to talk about that as well too. So let me see. Because I did give, like I said, the usual people the stuff on Yep. There we go. Okay. Let me get some stuff on the links and everything. So, but you have, like I said, a healthy stream of that. Another, also my hats out. I hope it does do very well as well too. But another game as well came out, which I was not really paying attention too much. And hopefully I wonder if they had a demo on the 3DS. I need to play it there to see what's going on. Which was Sushi Strikers. I think the indie game really fit well on the Switch. How the Switch so I think the game fits really well on a Switch. The way it switches as a system. You're right, Milman. It kind of helps fostering that because 3DS was portable and a lot of good games was on there as well. So going back, I was saying another game, a new IP for Nintendo. Gotta say, liking it, and it is Sushi Strikers. I am going to be picking up that game because I played the demo and I like it and I love there's something again. I think I said in a last podcast. There's some way that I like how these you call it these Japanese people developers who use unique to turn it into a cartoon in a way. I give them Sushi Strikers need to be an anime, please, Nintendo. I mean, technically speaking, if you play the game, it is kind of like an anime itself. It really is. And the first, like I said, I played the demo and it was kind of like that, and I enjoyed it. And man, that is pretty good in that assessment of what this game is. And it'll be cool. Oh, it'll be so cool.
Man, what you talking about? They don't make new IPs.
I see what you're talking about, Sprite. What's going on?
Nah, I saw that you had you was gonna do a random toss. I figured I'd hop on in.
This time I announced. This time, people other than people who was watching, I announced those who wanted to talk about it way before the time. This time,
Yeah.
so the people who ain't jumped in, that's hey, don't be telling me nothing now. But yeah, like I said, Sushi Strikers is I'll probably give Sushi Strikers. Hey, like I said, check out the demo. You don't. There's a demo in the shop. Check it out. If it's not for you, it's cool. Like I said, unlike most gamers, I was, you know, I enjoy game, and I don't try to force it down people's throats and say, hey, if you want to, if you know, whatever. These are specific type of games, you know. But it is really good as a puzzle game. I like what they do with it, and the antics of the animation, everything is pretty damn good. Like they took time in making this game. Now I see why this game is a little higher cost than usual. Because people are like, oh man, 40 what is it? It's $40, right? I think it is.
I think so.
Yeah, I think
That's
it's
so far.
four. It was like, Oh, it's a simple game. I can't believe it's $40, Nintendo. What are you talking about? I'm double checking again. I think it is $40. Let me double check it again. Man. Oh, hey, that happened. That is not. You gotta love how things work. Okay, no, it comes because I pressed the wrong button. That was my fault. Let's see. Yep, it is from 48. Yeah, $49.
Mm.
It's gonna be released in June 8th. So
So
that
word.
is it's $49, and of course they have it for the 3DS. Let me see. It's just weird that they don't give you the. They don't give you the. No, they don't. Of course they don't.
Mhm.
But I'm trying to see if it's for the 3DS if it is the same. Because people are saying, "Oh man, nope, it's $40 for the 3DS." So in most cases, this touchscreen works pretty good in that way.
That's old news, man. What you talking about?
Whatever. But like I said, I played a game pretty in. I played a demo, and I see why it costs that much because of the animation. I mean, they went out with the animation on that. It is like I said, like you said, Terrell. It feels like an cartoon animation, and what you do. I don't know if Nintendo will do that, but that is pretty cool right there.
Hmm.
I can't play Sushi Strikers with dual sticks though. It's frustrating. It got much better using the touchscreen for me. I basically played it with the sticks, but like I said, I could see that's what I said with the 3DS and the touchscreen. It makes more sense. Don't get me wrong. I am with you on that. Got to support new IPs, people. You're right about that, Metalman. I am with that. Like I said, I have. I mean, I've told you that I played a game on the PlayStation, which is Detroit. To that game right there, and I have to say, playing what I played, I enjoyed it. Just something different, and I respect people who took a chance and do something like that. So yeah, doesn't matter what console it is. Just like as I always said at the end, play games no matter what console, even PC. That's what I'm saying. That's just good games is good games. So, like I said, I I see where the IP coming, and it's I think it from if they give a lot of content in it, $40 to me I think is worth it. Is a good price point for that game because again I thought it was just going to be simple. Just looking at it when they first announced it, and then seeing because I was not a down for it, but then just seeing. Oh, this is just match three and do all that stuff and all that thing. I'm thinking that I'm like, wait, no, this is a new version of a match. Like it's funny how I used to be I was against bubble pop and all that stuff, and I'll be honest with people like I used to be against that stuff and all those things, but then seeing like again like puzzle what do you call it dungeon and puzzles dragon and puzzles sorry dragon puzzles still need to beat that damn game, but and a Mario Edition, Puzzle and Dragons, seeing that game and enjoying it, and same thing with the Sushi Strikers. It's like wow, I like people's new way of changing it from being stop being so boring in a way. So, and of course, the game that's gonna come out with is consistent with Blade Strangers, the puzzle game, basically puzzle fight of being strangers. I'm looking forward for that too because that is a new IP and I like what they're doing with that. I might get Detroit. It looks way better than most cinematic experience games. Yes. Like I said, ideas. Yeah. I mean, I don't the graphics and all that stuff. And I know you didn't mean it by that, but the graphics and the stuff, it looks good or whatever. But like I said, I like the concept, and I see where the game is going, and it makes you the choices and stuff you gotta do makes you think, oh, should I turn this into an AI? Turn this robot from this joint from AI to a real, you know, out of really a real AI you could think. And sometimes you have consequences that if you turn them into AI, that you're like, man, I felt better being a servant robot than to be free thinking. And it's a convoluted little story, and I like it. Won't say too much to recommend for you, but I like it. I enjoyed it. So, speaking of the new IP, you know that Detroit became to human on the PS4. Feel like Xbox Connect would be perfect for that type of game. Exactly. You know what? Good observation there, Torelli 3. I am with you on that. But we know how that worked out with Xbox. But that would have been a perfect setup for that. If Xbox didn't see, that's one of those things we could say something you need to listen to fans say. Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. I think that was I think they should have never listened to the fans and push the Connect and make more interesting gameplay. And so we get more different kind of games. I think that would have helped Xbox Xbox now instead of just backing off. Oh, we didn't want to connect and stuff like that again. You was on the path with the Xbox One. You was kind of on the what up, Doc? You was kind of on the Xbox was kind of on the path to push the like Nintendo do. If they're gonna do a gimmick or do something that make you realize, start it off on the box and push it hard, but in the Xbox community, vocal mind, maybe it could be vocal majority. I really don't know to a degree, but it could be a minority or majority. But I think by the way it's perceived, a lot of the people seen all the YouTuber content, and that's a vocal minority. But they were like, "Oh well, we don't need to connect, and connect just extra $100 or whatever." And then I think Microsoft had depended on Connect to do something, and they see that the backlash from that, and they just squashed many ideas they could have with that console. I think they really royally screwed up. And then when they tried to, as Doc did a video about this, and I didn't, but I talked about it a little bit with them screwing up, making the Xbox One X not its own ninth generation console and try to do this whole backpedaling bull crap was a stupid mistake on them. That hurt Xbox brand. And not with the Xbox fans per se. Well, kind of, because the Xbox One X is not lighting up the charts, nowhere close to lighting up the charts. But people are like, oh man, powerful system, powerful console. Again, power don't mean jack squat if you don't have these things to play. Again, if you have the most powerful car, but you ain't got gas in it, you ain't going that far. So they basically messed up with the Connect. I think they should have pushed it more, and I think some of the ideas was there. But
you and I both know this. With the Connect, they should have they should have forced third parties to use that shit to some extent. Like it should have been like either you use this or I mean, hey, we're not going to be paying for anything else regarding your game. Because that's how Nintendo has made so many innovations that they've done is that they made sure to support it themselves through and through, even if no one else really wanted. Like look at the Wii U gamepad. Now you got Switch owners saying, yeah, but the Wii U version is the better version, which is true. But some of these people didn't buy the Wii U version.
Yeah. Well, but that's just in general. The Wii remote, motion controls, the touchscreen, dual screen. Like that's what it went with, and it was forced. Yes, it was forced, but people made very much innovative games, even third party, on those consoles because the main console port basically that was part of the drive of the console. Because every time, only except for the Wii, the Wii the balance board, most gimmicks, or should I say peripherals, didn't sell that well after the fact. Just didn't.
And you know what's so funny? There's one gimmick that was created by these people' favorite company. Yet this is something just like with the Wii U gamepad, just like the Kinect. You always hear the outcry of, "We didn't ask for this. We don't want this." Did anybody ask for the DualShock? Did anybody ask for that? No, nobody asked for the DualShock.
Well, back then, no, but that was Sony seeing what Super Nintendo, not Super Nintendo, 64 did with analog stick and say, "Crap, yeah, let's do this," because remember they were past behind that.
But even
I
still,
send double check your Google Red, because I send it to Andre, you, and everybody on Google Plus the first shot. I'll send it again. If you ain't see it, I'll send it again. But I sent it to Google, Andre, Shep, and SK. Like, I sent it out first shot before even I put up the podcast. But go ahead, Doc. Sorry, I didn't even cut you off.
no, you're fine. Just to me, I find it real funny that, like you said, Microsoft could have. I will admit the Kinect has a lot of applications. I would say about half of them are better served outside of gaming, but still, I think that if Microsoft would have kept going with it, kept refining it, because Kinect 2.0,
No
I
more
heard
better.
it's great.
Yeah, it
And
was.
I was like, man, for what I'm hearing, can you imagine what the 3.0 version would be if they keep refining it, keep adding to it, keep figuring out ways to make it more efficient yet more accurate and things like that? Like, they made Connect 1 to Connect 2, that was a huge leap. And I'm thinking, if they keep pushing this, because I remember Microsoft had made they had made some type of promotional video. I forget what it was called, but they turned the Kinect into like a whole room projector system.
Yeah, I
Where they
think I
projected
remember it.
like they had projected like city landscapes across like the walls in your room.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, take that concept and run with it. Even though gamers are complaining about it, they don't know they want it. But if you do something useful with it, I'm telling you, they will wonder why they ever went without it. And that's where you and I are right now with the Wii U. Like, of course, we knew the gamepad was great, and we miss it with the Switch. We miss it dearly. I find it hard to go back. Like, even when I turn on my Xbox and PS4 now, I find it hard to actually have to type in something using a directional pad. Like, that shit is for the birds. I can't go back. I just can't go back. Once you have something great, you cannot go back. And I can understand gamers saying they want something new, but yet when someone tries something new and it may not be perfect, they don't have the patience to see them truly work on it. Instead of saying the Connect is crap, get rid of it. How about you offer suggestions on how to use and take advantage of it? Offer suggestions. You guys
Hey
give
yo,
feedback on everything else. You give feedback on what you want. You give feedback on these damn closed betas. Why don't you give feedback on the peripheral? But you know what it took? Microsoft themselves designed a controller that can be used by virtually anyone of special needs. And I have to say, I truly commend them for that. I'm probably going to buy the damn thing just to support it. If they make that a thing, I'm going to buy it just to support it.
What with that? We'll
Because
see.
to me, I can appreciate the effort. Hey, you know what? Like Nintendo, you're trying to bring more people into gaming, and they're not your core audience, they're not your casual audience, they're people that probably couldn't game under the circumstances. But you're trying to find a way to get those people who would normally be able to game, they can game and probably even be somewhat competitive. And I can respect that because I don't see Sony doing anything new.
Well, yeah, they did. No,
Sony's
no, no,
repeating it.
they did.
The
Let's
Sony
be honest.
PS4, the Sony PS4 is nothing but the Xbox 360 revisited, and I say that because
I got you, but to be honest, to be factually honest, they did try something new, but it kind of half-assed it in a way,
don't say the move.
no, I'm talking about the VR. That was their push. I'm not gonna deny it. Didn't
You
work out the
mean,
way.
you mean
Didn't work out
because
the way
everyone
they
else is
wanted,
doing it?
huh?
Because everyone else is doing it?
Well, not everybody else was doing it. I mean, they tried. Like I said, they pushed it off. Everybody think it's a success, which it wasn't. Right now, they have to redo some of their you know, they have to redo some of their setup with it because it's not because again they got to redo the numbers because that was not a success. They are millions in their forecast. They're millions short of their forecast for last year now. The last 2 years, I should say, basically. So they got to reassess it because it's not what they didn't blow up the way they thought it was going to blow up. What they set it up to? What they set it up to?
Something costs $1,000. I would expect the same thing.
What they set it up to push what they set up to push it with the PlayStation 5? Well, yeah. I like I said, they could do that. Let's see what they do.
If they can pull it off.
Oh, you got in there because I know I sent it to everybody. I was like, that's weird.
Dude,
well,
I'm gonna say right now.
The problem with
PS5 is not
VR,
gonna sell because here's why. It's gonna sell initially because of popularity, but I'm gonna tell you something. By the time the PS5 comes out, the Switch would establish one thing. Even I cannot go. It's hard to go back to playing games that you're stuck at home to play. It's kind of hard.
No, I mean you could say that, but I mean,
no.
I could see happening. It depends on just what the games is because you will go as you just said right there. Would it be a pain in the ass to go backwards? Yes, but again, if you'll go, it's just like with water. You know, you don't want to trek all the way down to some rivers or whatever. I mean, rivers to some bad neighbors if you ain't got water. But if water's down there, you'll go for it.
I think that when the PS5 comes out, I think it's not going to sell as well as the PS4 because one of two things are going to happen to Microsoft. Either the Xbox One, as we know it, is going to be their last console, and they're going to nurse that off and just like go that and the PC, which seems very much likely because I don't think Microsoft has the how can I put this nicely? They don't have the cojones to do another console war. Because the thing is that when the PS5 launches, unlike where the PS4, where Microsoft shot themselves in the foot, I don't think you're going to have that perfect storm circumstance again. So,
well, I shot it as Doc said. Doc did a video about this. I talked this through podcast, and then I was going to do a video with like how Doc did, but I didn't do it. They should have kept the Xbox One X. Call it the Scorpio. Call it something Xbox 720, something different. That'd be a night gen, and let people use that power to make new games instead of trying to, and then use the Xbox One as a backwards capability, and that would have been a better setup than what they're doing now because it just hamper you.
Yeah.
Well, let me ask you as a hypothetical question, and I want you to really think about this. With the way things have gone with the Xbox, with Microsoft, as of late, the things they've, been supporting, this and that, do you think that it's possible within the next few years that, like Red said, there won't be another Xbox, at least traditional home console? Can you see Microsoft pretty much in a sense, I don't know how, but in a sense, conceding to Nintendo and working with them directly?
No.
And I say that because Microsoft
so.
is really supporting Nintendo when it comes to, the cross-platform play. They do Rocket League, and I heard a few more games that come out that are going to also support this.
Yeah,
One of those is going to be Power.
But that's not Microsoft supporting them. That's Microsoft allowing it.
Yeah.
It's not now I tell you what I do see. If Microsoft bows out of the console market entirely and they just publish stuff, yeah, it makes perfect sense that they would publish games on a Nintendo home console or handheld. It would make perfect sense for them. Like if Rare said, okay, we know we've been fucking up and we're not putting our games on our own system anymore. So it would make perfect sense for Rare to say, okay, we're doing a partnership with Nintendo to make a Banjo-Kazooie game because we don't have the fucking skill to make games like that anymore. So that would make sense, but I wouldn't say, okay, like it's gonna be this chummy relationship because Microsoft just doesn't have that type of attitude. I mean, we've seen with, I mean, like, I don't know if this is true, but I've heard that Crackdown 3 is delayed till next year.
No,
like,
it was.
literally,
No, it was.
if Crackdown 3 is delayed, there is absolutely nothing Microsoft can show this year at E3 to do anything. Like
Sunset Overdrive 2, Quantum Break 2.
I don't know about Sunset Overdrive. After
Let me put it this way: after the brutal beating that Insomniac Games took with the first Sunset Overdrive, they would have to be insane to go down that road again.
And you know, they said publicly many times that if they're going to do a Sunset Overdrive 2, it's going to be a multi-plat. So
yeah, because I mean, here's the thing: I hate to say this, but Insomniac hasn't really been doing well since the PS2 era. Like once the PS2 era ended, Insomniac's games started kind of like getting a little mediocre. I know a lot of people like what was that game from Insomniac?
Jak and Daxter?
No. No, Jak and Daxter was Naughty Dog. Insomniac was Ratchet and Clank.
Ratchet and Clank, yeah.
Yeah, Ratchet and Clank. Like Ratchet and Clank was really good during the PS2 era, and then the PS3 era started, and the quality of Ratchet and Clank kind of went downhill. And then the other games Insomniac did just failed. Like that game they did, there was like a 4-person squad-based single-player shooter that bombed. Then Sunset Overdrive bombed. Then
I will add to that. It bombed financially, but it was a good game. It was there.
Well, the thing is like what people tend to forget about the Xbox is that Microsoft built up the dude bro audience. And I know people are gonna say, well, not every Microsoft gamer is dude bro. You're right, but the people who aren't dude bro is such a small minority compared to the vast majority of that audience, that Sunset Overdrive was never going to do that well because the audience for that game is not there. It's like when I hear Square Enix, we're putting this traditional JRPG on the Xbox. Why?
No, yeah, I got you.
You know what though?
I got you.
That's actually a good point because, and here's what it makes you think of. You know how certain people out there always say Nintendo has groomed their audience, you know, to a certain type of game, or certain type of games or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like Microsoft groomed their audience for shooters.
Okay.
No, we get that, and you're right. And you're right.
I mean, no, but see, my thing is though, Microsoft groomed their audience with shooters, but like you said, whenever another game of a different genre comes out, the groomed audience doesn't care because the groomed audience makes up the majority of their fan base, whereas Nintendo, the groomed audience actually likes the games that they make, whereas Microsoft, you had Halo, you had Gears of War, but you had every other third party out there making shooters as well. So basically, the games that you would come out with, or the games that would not fit that genre, the bulk of your audience didn't care about. They only wanted one type of game, maybe two max, and that wasn't it.
You gotta add something to that, and that's why they were the clean. You saw in the video when I was responding to Clean Prince Gamer when he was saying the stuff about variety. I'm like, Zelda, Mario, Zelda Odyssey, Pokemon, Mario, ARMS.
That's what I'm saying. Like Nintendo's fans like a variety of games for the most part.
And their IPs are variety.
Well, yeah, I know. A Nintendo gamer has a more eclectic taste than the Dubro.
Yeah, it does. But I'm going to what Doc was saying, and but we went with Doc was saying, like just like I said when I did a video response to him, was like those games, all of them are different. Fire Emblem Warrior, I mean, all the games that Nintendo, look at all the games that Nintendo put out in the first year of the Switch. Ports and all, just all that. They're different. You have
I mean, but not just that. It's just Nintendo has always had a very eclectic lineup.
No.
I mean, just from Nintendo alone, you get adventure games, you get RPGs, you get sports games. Yeah, they're arcadey, but they're sports games. You get sports games, you get weird puzzle games. I mean, it's very like a Nintendo gamer. It just has a very eclectic.
No, and I'm agree with you. I'm agree with you, and that's my point of saying that. I'm just using this. I was just using the Switch first year as a more recent example. We will go back to the Wii U. We'll go back to the Wii. We'll go back to the games, GameCube, and so on further. And like Doc was saying, we've gathered that we get the different types of games and different types of genres and everything. And Nintendo, most of the cases, put a IP in each of those genres that they own. Because again, you think Splatoon is take over the shooter. They really didn't have a shooter. And back before that, when you talk about shooters, you talk about 2 games: Perfect Dark and of course GoldenEye. Yeah, that was the only shooters you thought at the time you said Nintendo because of what those games did for that platform. But they said, hey, we're gonna take our version, we put in Splatoon. Look what Splatoon did.
And not just that, like I was thinking about it, Splatoon is not only a shooter, it's a freaking MOBA.
It's its own style of Nintendo, but they took their quirkiness and put it in there. And
I mean,
no, I got what you're saying, and I was saying they did that and put in their Nintendo, of course, put in their spin of how they put in their games, and it worked out. It worked out like most, like you just said with the doctor said about the sports and stuff. They used to have the because you guys said that on y'all on Doc's podcast, they used to have the simulated sports, the courtside, the NBA courtside, and of course the Ken Griffey, Ken Griffey baseball. No, it was just simple like that, which I love when I was back on the 64, and I liked it. They had that kind of games in there, but they don't, and of course 1080p. Not 1080p, sorry, 1080. God dang, must have mistake. 1080 with their snowboarding, like they had that, and they slide away from that. But if you look at through the years, they had an IP in all of those genres, so they could stake their claim, whatever. And that's what Nintendo does. And again, Xbox with the Xbox One, and it was kind of going that path, but they let the gamers like that. Denounce them from going that way.
Yeah, I think that's a part of it. I also think Microsoft just gets scared. Like I always hear people, they're like, "What about Blinks the Time Cat?" Blink, like literally, Microsoft heard that some people made like hate lists. They were like, "Well, most embarrassing mascots," and Blinks the Time Cat was on it, and they got mad about that. And so they relinquished the IP and killed the character.
Compared to most of the mascots back in the 90s. Ooh.
Yeah, I'm like, look, I'm like, I mean, you guys, I mean, for a company that has so much money, they're so ballless about some stuff. I mean, it's like, man, how can you be in business and be that scary? And the sad thing is, like, I mean, look, listen. Like Microsoft, like you said, with the original Xbox, they did try to do some innovative things and have, give Microsoft its own identity. But as time progressed, it's become painfully.
It was the formula, and you've talked about it before, Red Fox. They tried with the Xbox One. They tried with they started off a little bit with the Xbox 360. Then when they did the whole money hand and everything, they saw the success through that giving money, and it worked out for them in the 360 era. And then when they tried the Xbox One, and they would say, okay, let's try it again. And like you said, they got scared, or they just let the audience talk for them. Or that's why I truthfully honest, because this one, because I have not, like you read, I would think so. I've not bought an Xbox console, so I'm not. No, I've never truly invested into Xbox as much as it have. As my company has, we made games for Xbox. Yes, for the Xbox thing, yeah, because doing contracts and stuff like that. But I have not invested into it again. Now, of course, if I played Xbox, yes, because of course, to see certain games that I do like Tales of Vesperia and everything. Like I've played games on the Xbox console, but the reason I'm saying that is that I don't know per se, is it because of the vocal minority, like how it has happened for Nintendo with how they've been loud and Nintendo's listened to some of them. Sometimes I'm like, I wish it didn't, but or it's minority because I'm looking through the lens because seeing what YouTubers say, this because everyone was like ask the Connect. To me, I think that was a stupid idea to ask the Connect. I think that you started off with the Connect at the beginning. You should have forced it on it. People want to say, oh, people look at it and say, oh, that's a bad thing. You force it on again. Look at every, as you want to call it, gimmick again, but gimmick's not a bad word. It's just people make it that way. Look at every gimmick that Nintendo has put, innovation gimmick, mainline, streamline of a concept. Nintendo put it from in the forefront. And good or bad, we've seen some innovative games coming out of that. But you go to the PlayStation, you go to Xbox, you don't see it.
I have to disagree a little bit. Just a smidgen. Like, I mean, okay. When Nintendo does something innovative, whether it succeeds or fails, they work with it. But Nintendo, I mean, they're a toy company. They have to be innovative. Microsoft is not a toy company. They aren't a hardware company. Innovation is not in their blood. They're risk averse. What they do have is a lot of money. So with the Kinect, it was like, okay, you have this wonderful piece of tech, which was used suboptimally. Like with the original Kinect, it was like, this is some shit. And then the Kinect 2.0 used, once again, just not used very well in games. Now, look, I don't know about you, but when someone tells me they have a game console with a peripheral, it should be used in an interesting way. Like even the Super Scope back in the day had at least one good game on it.
Well, so we understand that the point of, but we saw the drum beats because people say, oh, I don't want to pay extra. It's an extra $100. I don't want that. That was basically in the first year of the Xbox One X. Yeah, and those people drum beat that and asked it with Microsoft. If you did it from the get go, I think they could have pushed it, and maybe 3 years from now, 3 years from the initial launch, they could have created a good game. Just like again, Terrell and let me see, Terrell 83 or was it Mailman? I want to give full credit for that because I think it was Terrell 83. Like I playing Detroit on PlayStation 4. I could have seen what they could have done with the Kinect if that was set up on it. He's a game idea guy. I know for him, he could have come up with some ideas for that. If you disagree, you disagree. But I gotta disagree. I see a lot of stuff they could have done with that game.
I take that back.
Preferals.
I can see cool things they could have done with the Kinect, but I also know that Microsoft's corporate culture and the way they think, it was never going to happen.
Well, no. You're disagreeing on what the culture was. I'm just looking at it from if you're going to look, as I said before, you can look back to the history. Even when like you said, the Super Scope, even into the Nintendo Zapper and Rob and all that stuff, that was Nintendo getting into changing that. I don't count those because that's a different story. But other than the Wii U balance board, there's no peripheral that's sold differently from the main core that ever took off and like does great. Yeah, everything basically flopped off. So you started the Xbox Kinect at the beginning. They did that from the beginning, and I think they should have go through. Like one of the games that, like you said, you're right that there could have been implementation. One of the games that I worked on with harmonics and stuff like that, of course, was Dance Central. And it sold. I made my money and it sold. And he had his little quirkiness, but you know what? It was that fun that a lot of people who bought it, those games up to Dance Central 3, they overlooked it. We refined it piece by piece, and people like what again, as usual, they were having fun. And they didn't care. And I think they could have done a Dance Central for the Xbox One, of course, but they didn't do it. Xbox One X. They didn't do it, or they could have done other games. I've seen some of the plans a little bit that they could have done with that, and of course with the HoloLens as well. If they, it was not the HoloLens. God dang it! Was the Microsoft Surface? They're going to do the whole double screen thing that they're going to do, and they backed out of it. And that goes to what you were saying, Red, which I credit you what you just said. It goes to you saying that they are risk diverse, and sometimes they shoot themselves in the foot by doing that. So I give you that. Because they were going to push the second screen experience just like the Wii U, but when they saw people backlash against the Wii U, they're like, oh well, let's scratch this. Let's
and that's kind of like I noticed that about Microsoft. They're very like, oh well, shit, fuck it, and I mean, and it's like they're risk averse about things, but it's like there's risk averse and there's being scared and there's preparation, and they're all different things. It's like they should have launched the Xbox One if they were going to include the Kinect with games that use the Kinect in meaningful ways. They didn't.
They did not. You're correct about that. They could have done, of course, just to get people into it because
exactly.
They could have done next Kinect Sports, just to more refined or whatever Kinect Sports do. They're gonna do something, but it did not.
You know, something, but
they did not. You're right.
You know, and I mean, you know, it's sad, but. I mean,
because basically they went towards, as you know, cracking your joke, features. They went with the whole, you can say commands and Xbox do this, all that stuff.
I mean, like I said, all that stuff kind of, like, you know, with the PS4 and everything like that. Once again, the reason the PS4 sold so well isn't because it's a great console. It's a decent console, but it's not like, oh my God, this is the most amazing thing ever. It's an okay console, but there was almost no competition for it for the first 2.5 years of its life cycle because Microsoft literally, if the Xbox One was a person, it would be a dude who came to a fight, said, "No, you're not going to kick my ass. I'm going to kick my own ass."
No,
and proceeds to beat the hell out of himself.
Well, to be honest, in the first year when those two consoles lead, Microsoft came out with more exclusives and had more third-party contracts sold in that it was good at the first year, and then it just slowly just PlayStation just back. And then let's not deny this as well too, because I've said it and I've seen this. That's why I always say it. Xbox, when Don Matrix said what he said, and people got upset with the whole DMC, you know, all that crap, and PlayStation did a full reverse, which they did their plan for the Xbox for the E3 that was to do
it was the same thing,
the same plan. And when they saw people like, oh, this is crazy, whatever, and they switch it around, that helped out too. But they did, like I said, but they did not have, because remember the Call of Duty of that year was still going towards like the exclusive content, everything was still going towards Xbox at the time. So the first year it was more Microsoft, and everyone was like, okay, we see the exclusive, we see whatever. But then after a while, I think the rest of the laurels, they got a little cocky, and then with things going whatever, PlayStation came up and never looked back.
Yeah.
And it goes towards what you were saying. I'm just saying that's how it was. It did a turn, and then just like you fell down. And the guy's not gonna. The person who's running with you is not gonna say, "Oh, let me stop and help you." Now you kept going and you couldn't get back up.
They shot themselves in the foot. But I mean, you know, it's kind of sad because it's kind of like last year. Everyone's like, "Man, isn't it great that like E3 was great?" I'm like, "Yeah, it was good for Nintendo, but I mean, it's not fun to win a competition when there's no competition."
I know you said that.
and you know, there's almost no competition. It's like Microsoft and Sony essentially are the same console. The only difference is that one is slightly more expensive than the other, but they get basically the same games. The exclusives, I mean, I'm sorry, like for the last 2 years, Microsoft's been canceling exclusives left and right.
Yep.
Or when an exclusive comes out, it's piss poor. So it's
because Sea of Thieves didn't work out the way they thought it, and State of Decay the same way too. So yeah,
I mean, it's. I'm sorry, but
and you know, and the sad thing about it is, even though I cracked the joke about it back, if you go back to my E3 video of 2015, when Phil Spencer came out and said, "Oh, we're gonna do more exclusives," I'm like, good spin, because you know you lost the purse strings. I give you that was a good spin, but we know that the Xbox in the meeting board, they said, "No, we're not getting no more money to do any money hunting." And it's good spin, but I'm saying you're not. I hope you do it, but I don't see you doing the exclusives as you say, because Phil said we're gonna do more exclusive. We're gonna be the best gaming lineup. I'm like,
you want to know what happened? And I'm like, I wasn't in the boardroom, but if you follow the money, they had a choice. They could either put money on because they had the purse strings cut. The unlimited check with no strings attached was cut. They were given a budget. They could either put that budget towards exclusives or the Xbox One X. And they put it towards the Xbox One X. And that was a bad decision. That was a very bad decision.
Well, like I said before, they marketed it in a different way, and it hurt them in that regard. Well, and speaking of, what I mean by that is what I just speak before about. It should have been the next generation. It should have just exit. Don't try to extend this right now because it was done. It was
I mean, not just that. It's like hardware doesn't sell itself. The games sell the hardware.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. But they limit themselves by trying to say this is just a half step. Even again, look at the pattern. And I'm not saying to you, Greg, because you know that. But look at the pattern. You came up with a console in 2013. Then you come up with a new uprevision of that console, more powerful, whatever, in 2016. Then in 2017, you come with a next more powerful console. It's like, you kind of make yourself irrelevant itself.
But this is what they wanted. They said we want iterative, slight upgrades, and I'm like, but
to be honest, that was more Sony than Xbox saying that, and I think Sony basically troll them or they buy hook, line, and sinker. I
just don't think they have the talent to. And I've said this before, and people got mad at me. You don't know what you're talking about. I don't think they have the talent to be in the video game industry. They had a lot of money. They threw it around. But money alone without talent is you're just a rich asshole throwing around money.
I think it's talent, but also I don't think they have the right. How should I say this? It's not your talent is correct, but I want to add in something also. They didn't have the right. I'm gonna say leader because I don't want to say that. They didn't have the right direction because because again, you bought Rare and Rare fell apart. It should have never happened. You have a company that was talented. Even though the Slav Brothers didn't went with you, you still had people there still that worked on some of the games. You could have covered some concepts and some things, but it fell to the side how it worked out. You had the Fable team, and let certain things went that way, and that studio fell apart. It's like they didn't have the right direction of making sure they have the quality check and all the stuff to make their games go the way it's supposed to go.
Well, just looking at observation, Microsoft is like a less obvious EA because good studios go to Microsoft and then they just basically gradually fall apart. Not as quickly as when they go with EA, because EA is like Microsoft is like going to hospice. You're not going to get better out of hospice. EA is like going to the slaughterhouse. It's much faster than hospice. So like Microsoft, it's like, okay, Rare now, and I've said this before, Rare is one of the best companies I have ever, it's one of the best third-party companies I've ever seen. Like hands down, Rare is one of the best third-party companies. Even Retro, like people like Retro's the new Rare, and I used to say that too. But then I like went back and played some of like Rare's games when they were at their best, and I'm like, their games are like a little bit more polished than Retro's in some respects, especially their 2D platformers. I'm like, Rare was really good. Like they were like there was a time when they were going toe to toe with Nintendo's first-party studios, and it was like, wow, these two fed off each other. They were making their games better. And then Rare went to Microsoft, and they were kind of going down towards the end when they were with Nintendo. But when they went to Microsoft, they went down the tubes, okay? And then, it was it went over time. And then, Bungie went to Microsoft. And Bungie used to be good for like 3 games, Halo, Halo 2, Halo 3. And then they split, and we got Halo 4, and Halo 4 was kind of mediocre. And then Halo 5 was even more so mediocre. And it's like, Lionhead Studio, I know a lot of people get mad at Peter Molyneux, but the Fable games, look, they sold more with each iteration. That was a growing franchise. Microsoft destroyed that franchise. Because the first iteration of Fable sold almost 1 million. The second sold 1.5. The third one sold over 2 million. With each iteration, it was selling more. And then they made Fable The Journey, and that sold like under 500,000. And they were like, man, what happened? You people may force them to make a Kinect game. That's what happened.
Yeah, you know something too, and there is a Nintendo video about this on Nintendo channel talking about this in the Japan, not in the American version. And because I see what Terrell asked, and he was saying that they didn't know how to stick to their guns and stuff like that. When they did a lot of product testing with here's the funny thing. Nintendo did product testing, as I've said before, but I was talking about more of like the online stuff with Splatoon, but because of the version and stuff. But I also did product testing with Splatoon to see what people think will be cool or whatever. And basically 90% of it, 90% of what the fans say they wanted in Splatoon, the directors went against. They were like, no. They basically, they asked for it, and y'all. And again, I've said it before. I'll say it again. And being what I've done and stuff. It's cool to listen to your fans. Don't get me wrong. Do not get me wrong. It's cool to listen to your fans, but again, you got to remember they became your fans because of what you created. There wasn't no fans at the beginning when you didn't have the idea in the first place. So you gotta understand that you still have to make certain decisions to keep your ingenuity, your creativity, the flow is going, and tweak it with the fans' suggestion.
Yeah, but I mean, if you give fans what they want, they find out it's kind of like when you're a kid and your parents say, we're going to the store and you're going to get a surprise and you can get anything you want, and you get something that's way too big and you can never finish it, but you're a kid, your eyes are bigger than your stomach.
Yeah,
and you get it and it makes you sick, or you can't finish it, or you power through it, you get sick. Mm-hmm. That's basically what happens to gamers.
Yeah.
Especially less informed casual gamers, because they don't have the experience or the breadth of knowledge to really understand what's going on.
But the funny thing about it is most of the casual, I because of what happened in 7th generation, I really do split up the gamers because of that. You have the casuals who really enjoy games and they're not too much into it, and you show them something fun, they'll play it. You have the social gamers who, again, that's a new type of games I'm calling. Again, shout outs again one more time for Good Shepherd who came up with the term, where these guys play games just because it's popular. They don't play because they have a passion for the game or they want to do something with the game and all that stuff. They just, and then you have the hardcore, quote unquote per se, that does what it's supposed to. My statement is that every gamer is basically all those gamers in some type of life, because you're not that. That's some kind of a myth, but I digress from that. But my point is like when you see that, like you listen to the interview with those the directors was talking about Splatoon, and you hear how some of the passionate people who they ask for their ideas about this and what they're gonna do with the shooting stuff, and they totally just said no, like they really did went against mostly. Okay, let me put it this way. If you watched it and you watch it and hear how they talk, it kind of it's like they were trolling the people they were asking. It's like tell me what you want, I'm gonna do the opposite. That's basically what it sounds like. You listen to that interview. It's like, oh, we're gonna do a shooter. What do you want? We're not doing those. Again, it's on Nintendo Japan's you could have subtitles and everything. It's on Nintendo Japan's channel, and how they created Splatoon, and it's funny in my opinion listening to that, but they stick to their guns. Going back to what sparked this conversation in Sanjay was with Terrell, they stick to the guns, and Microsoft again just flutter and didn't have the direction, didn't have the fortitude to say, okay, you know what, this might not, whatever, let's whatever, and then it goes with the Kinect. Like I said, they had a chance, they could have started and do something with it, they didn't. They backed off from it.
No, and they I mean, basically I mean, if they were at a gambling table, they bet on the wrong color
majority of the time, yeah,
and then doubled down on it. Like I said, the Xbox One X was a horrible mistake. They should have taken that money and put it towards because let's keep it real. Okay, the original Microsoft has basically deuced out on every console gen. The original Xbox they considered a failure because it didn't take the world by storm. The second Xbox was doing okay, except they rushed it, and there was a 50% failure rate. And people forget, in the beginning they fought people to replace those. They would not accept them to replace them, even though it was their shoddy ass manufacturing that made them that way.
Yep.
So they took a hit with that. So that was a failure. So then when the Xbox One, and right out the gate, I mean, literally with Phil Spencer, well, we have a product for people like that. It's called the Xbox.
It was Don Matrick.
You're sorry. I don't want to say Don Hatrick. Don Matrick. Yeah. It's okay, when Jeff Keighley, who really would rather be making out with Hideo Kojima, is looking at you like you're insane. Is looking at you like you're insane. You know you done fucked up. And so basically, I mean, Microsoft, I don't like I said, when they first came out with the original Xbox, I don't know why you're in the console industry. You don't have the right attitude, the right mentality, the talent. I know some people.
I'll say if they didn't rush it, I'll be honest. And this is subjective, but I'll be honest. I think they were going that way with the 360, and it had it's tripped over its own cell shot and stuff in this world, whatever we want to call it. They were going that way, but then when the money hadn't became their 1-2, basically the thing that worked for them, just like how the Blu-ray and the DVD player worked for PlayStation. When they found out, this is where we get all the people on our stuff and our name, because remember also in that generation, which is weird. That generation also became where name recognition came bigger than it's supposed to be.
Yeah,
it was that, because everybody you want to be like everybody at that time, everybody like Xbox 360, but everybody wasn't saying 360. You were just saying the Xbox console, just like how PlayStation now was. Everybody like, oh, PlayStation. They call the brand recognition, even though it didn't do too much. They just wanted to be in the lexicon of words for the culture, and that's what it was. Bad or good, bad or good.
People didn't talk about the games. It's like, what do you game on? Like, if you gamed on the Wii in the 7th gen, you were a bitch. It's like, you're a kid.
Well, let's go back. Let's go back at that. The time when it was a lexicon because it was something new was basically the 4th and 5th for Super Nintendo. The NES, and because it got back into it. But 64 and the game and that generation with the 5th and 6th generation, people really wasn't pushing it out, because again, gaming was not that large per se. If you go back to the 90s, like late 90s stuff, you had so many other pop culture references that was still doing gaming. You had your wrestling, you had just NASCAR racing, you had all kind of stuff that was way better in the lexicon than in 7th generation. We had the Wii took over and made it today, and then it was like, oh man, you playing an Xbox? No, I'm not. I'm playing, and then that's where you hear the jokes. People like, I'm on an Xbox, but that is the PlayStation. Okay,
people got so caught up on what they were playing and not on what they were playing on, and not what they were playing, which is
exactly and it's still to this day too.
Like, man, to this day, I'm Xbox strong. It's like, but you're playing the same shit that dude's playing. There's no difference between doing here. Seriously, there's no difference.
No, and that's what happened to them. And I think, like I said, we'll see what happened. 2-3 years from now, if they're gonna do it. I'm on your side of what you're saying with Microsoft. I've done videos about it with you, Red. What you just stated out how they're gonna do things. And again, since 2012,
I just don't see them digging themselves out of this hole.
Well, since 2012, the board from the Microsoft all been trying to shut this down. Just the platform, the PC, and they've been doing it. So,
and for me, as someone who owns a PC, I'm not mad. I'm like, look, I can play more games on PC, and stop having to go through. I don't have to pay Xbox Live to play these games, and I'm okay with that. But for people who invested, they were like, I'm going to get an Xbox One. I don't know what to say to you guys except, man, y'all got duped.
Yeah.
You've been duped.
Well, they've been duped because again is again when Don Matrix said what he said and the Twitter sphere and everything went all the flutter with what he said. He used it. We don't. That's what they were saying. We don't want no DMC. We don't want no always online game and all that crap. Look what people.
And now they're accepting it. Even Nintendo's having games that are heavily online centric.
Well, yeah, I'm not denying that. Denying that. It's just like I said. Now people are. I'm talking about like the PUBG, the Fortnite, the Paladin, all those other games. They all remember. I remember fanatically from all the big YouTubers. They're saying we do not want an always online game. That's what y'all say. But that's the DMC.
They love Overwatch. You can watch them streaming them.
I know that
3 times a week, and I mean, I just want some consistency. That's the thing that bothers me.
No, I get what you're saying. I'm getting what you're saying. But again, PlayStation did exactly. Again, they saw the writing, they changed it, but it did exactly what Xbox did, and because it was so popular, as I cracked the joke many times. You guys say you didn't get fucked, but you know what? Xbox fucked you, and PlayStation easy dicked in. That's what they did. And I'll have to say, I'll have to say this. It's just, it's just sad how it's changing that the way it is now because of how. Then again, I don't know. I'm a person looking outside in on the Xbox community per se, but the whole if there's a vocal minority or not. But they shot themselves in the foot successfully, and they might have a couple swingers and new IPs maybe in E3 next week. It could. I'm not denying it. I don't know. I don't know.
Okay, I'm not going to count them out. I'll agree with you on that. I won't count them out. But at this point, like the games that people really want to see from Microsoft, they're not doing. Like they're like, okay, they're gonna do okay. Here's what they're probably gonna show. A whole bunch of third-party games are gonna be on multiple things. Fair enough. That's cool. Everyone does that. And then like they're probably their big games next week are probably going to be Halo 6, which may or may not come out this year, may get delayed as well, and the next Gears of War. But in like there used to be a time where people would buy an Xbox console for Halo, but Halo has changed. It's not like it was back in the day.
It has.
And Gears of War was never a system seller. I don't know why Microsoft keeps on trying to tell people that. Gears of War is not a system seller. Gears of War was a game that people who owned Xbox Ones would get because they were like, well, I've beaten Halo. I'm tired of Halo. I want to do something a little bit different. But no one was like, man, I'm going to buy an Xbox system. I'm going to get Gears of War.
I don't know. I mean, I think when it kind of the hype get established with Gears of War 1, 2 became that because they did a lot of the packaging and bundling to that. I won't say not as big as you say, but I think it was kind of a system because everybody felt, oh wow, this is unique, this is exclusive, and one was so one had the trepidation that he had that people were like, oh man, this is cool that they did that because again, even with the one that came out 4, great or not. They did do it. They did the exclusive Gears of War 4 exclusive console, but it's not as I'm not denying it. I'm just saying that they didn't have the high number like how Halo did. Halo was the number. Halo is like the Mario. It was the number 1 system for that console. So.
Yeah, it was. Doc, do you have anything to say? We got all quiet on us.
Nah, Doc is just letting us basically take over. This is just basically me and you knocking it out.
Yeah,
talking and stuff. But
I'm speechless right now.
He's stupid, right?
Riveted, are you? you're agog.
But the point stating that is just like I said. Can I expect maybe they pull out are they gonna put out a big surprise, a swing and a hit next week? I don't see that. But can they pull out something that if they how should I say this? Put a little TLC to it and make it something all right. I could see that. If you don't, it don't. But I could see it doing that. Right now, everybody's again. I'm not for the hype thing, but everybody's talking about PlayStation got something up their sleeve, and I could see that as well too. If they have it, they've been getting a little blustery with certain things, and they could do that as well too. I'm kind of sad that they did cancel the Dreams. Well, I know why they canceled the damn Dreams game. I'm telling you, Sony, you're going to rule the day that you gave Hideki, not Hideki,
Kojima.
I blame that.
Yeah, I mean, it's like no one learns that Hideo Kojima is so full of shit. It's like no one learned. Like Konami finally figured it out. They were like, you know what? We got to cut this dude loose.
Yeah.
As soon as they cut that turd loose, Sony went and found it and picked it up. Hey, I'm gonna take this home.
I'm gonna shine this up.
Yeah. And people got mad at Konami. Listen, Konami's dirty too because they wouldn't let that. They blocked that man's company from getting health care. Now that's a dick move. I don't care what anyone says.
Yeah, and I listened to the podcast where you guys had been adopted. Andre was saying that. Yeah, you couldn't. It was a little messed up how you try certain things. Look, Konami has his own negative as well too.
Yeah, I mean, but still, he did cost them millions of dollars.
No, I get that. And look, and basically, Curse of the Blood and the Moon basically proves it more as well. But only we would see that, not the bigger gamosphere in YouTube. Igarashi wanted to do games, and he blocked it all the time. And look, he just did that, and his game is selling now.
Yeah, which is just hilarious because they went out of their way. Like he basically cock-blocked Igarashi's games.
Yeah.
Like, look, guys, I want to make a Castlevania game for the 3DS. Fuck that. I want to make a Castlevania game for DS. Fuck that.
Yeah.
I want to make a Castlevania game like a real Castlevania. Fuck that too. Jesus.
But again, he came out with that game, and that game is selling good and is doing great. I hope Bloodstained does just as good a job as this one as well too. But my point staying that Igarashi has, I mean, the reviews shows it. People are satisfied with the game, so he had a hit on his hand.
I just have one question. Am I the only one playing Bloodstained Curse of the Moon where I'm like, I wish this was just the game? Like, I wish that was Bloodstained game and not like the Unreal thing that they're like going through all that. I'm like,
that's why I say the game could still be fun. I'm not gonna knock it out because it looked like they have the good ideas, but I don't like the art style they changed. I love the original trailer what they had before with the 16-bit, and I was like, oh, this is cool, and then they changed it to that. I was like, no, but. Fun is fun. Let's see what happens. Like I said, and we see that he has the ideas with Curse of the Blood Moon right now. So we see that he has the idea, and I like what I like about it. And again, I have not bought the game, but I will pick it up. I like the idea that instead of you going through the world with the different characters, you could just switch it on the fly. That's really help.
Oh yeah. I'm stuck like on the 5th level because like the first 4 levels is like it's kind of plays with you, but then you get to the 5th level, it's like shit. You got wind keeping me from making this jump, and a picture, a haunted painting ate my character. I'm like, god damn, I gotta change if I do this shit.
But the concept is he has the ideas, and you can see that. So Bloodstained might be the game that he pushed for. I think that will be awesome, if he has those same ideas in there, and it looked like it. And again, like I said, it proves that if he had got his chance, Konami, you could have made money.
But I will say this much though: there's one good thing about Hideo Kojima making Death Stranding. If that game ever comes out, which it might,
it will. No, it will.
But when it comes out. I don't need to play it. I can just watch Let's Plays of it, and I can have the feeling of tripping balls on acid without actually having to take acid at all. Like, what the fuck, man? Here's some good shit. Are you high? No, I'm just watching it. I'm just watching someone play Death Stranding. I think I'm on drugs.
Like I said, I that game, looking at that game is like, okay, all right.
Everything that's wrong. It's everything that's wrong with Kojima, except like Sony probably gave him a really big check to make that game.
Oh, they gave him a big check.
And I'm like, It's like you could have given this money to Insomniac to make a real Ratchet and Clank game.
True.
You could have given this money to
Well, look, if my and I'm guesstimating, but I'm guesstimating for what I've heard. I can't give a definitive number until it goes gold. That's just me guessing.
I don't.
But,
I'm just looking at Kojima's.
No. Well, yeah, I got what you're saying. I'm gonna say this. I'm saying this, that if the number I think is correct, going with what you just said, they could have made several little games.
Oh yeah,
that could have turned into exclusive that was gonna be good games instead of just this one massive game. It's like how Square did with Final Fantasy 15. Like that much money you paid, you could have made 3 games out of that money.
Yeah,
3 good games, but
they could have.
But you guys basically, did what you did in that regard. So we'll see. I really do think Sony effed up on that, but they want to name notoriety, and I always puzzles me again. Do I think Kojima should get the name notoriety for some of this stuff? Yes, Metal Gear Solid has became a game again in the gaming lexicon. People know about it. I give it that. I'm not denying that. But when I hear people I still love when some of these guys are like, oh, he's like this developer that, of course, when they compare it to Shigeru Miyamoto, I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. You can't do that. No.
Well, yeah.
I could list a bunch of developers that even though their game might not been, some of the games not been successfully sold like Metal Gear, but it had the ideas and
they're better games, yeah.
Yeah.
Like I'll keep it real. Siphon Filter was better to me than Metal Gear, even though it was kind of like the Metal Gear clone at the time. It was more of a it was more tactical than Metal Gear. Plus, if you play Metal Gear, there's just some sick shit in Metal Gear games where it's like the person who designed this has a mental issue.
Got you. I'm just laughing at Trailer 3. He says, to this day, I still don't want this trending.
No, I
don't even know what. I don't, like I said, everybody right now is just awe and gawking over the graphics, and that's it, because there's no gameplay to go off of. And we don't even know if that's the graphics. It could be just CGI. Mostly it is. So I don't even know what to go. I don't know why I'm like, yeah, no, I don't know yet. I'm not. There's no concrete of you can make from that. Trailer 3. You're right about that.
Well, the saddest thing about all of this, and this is just Kojima, is that the people who are like, I'm a Kojima fan, it's like, did you play any of his other games? Because he had, like, here's the thing. I'm not going to say Hideo Kojima has really good games. Like, you ever played Snatcher? How about Super Deformed Snatcher that's an RPG? It's basically Blade Runner the RPG, but Super Deformed Chibi. It's really fun. But no one talks about those games. They only talk about the game where you're starting a poor lady who went to the bathroom so much she pees on herself. That's not fun to me. Who thinks this is a good game? Why?
Well, we could leave that nomenclature for that saying. But to be honest, like I said, going back to what it is, like I said, I think Shinji Mikami better than him, Hideki Kamiya. Hell, even Gunpei Yokoi better than Hideki. Like, I could think of these guys because they have done games again. If it wasn't for Gunpei Yokoi, not just the Metroid, but like set up the Sun, like he was also one of the core people who helped set up Fire Emblem to what it is. So
I mean, there's just a lot of I don't know their individual names, but the people who work at Treasure, I mean, their games are just insanely good. The team that made I don't think they're still making games anymore. Like a lot of my favorite developers now make mobile games, which is so sad. It's like, oh man, another one bit the dust because I'm never gonna play their games on mobile. It's like you can play Star Ocean on mobile. I don't want to play Star Ocean on mobile.
No, and that's a good little tangent again. If you didn't, because and this is basically because I've seen as this way, like I saw that on YouTube. That's what I'm saying. I was having a problem because YouTube is changing their algorithm, all kind of bull crap, whatever. And they sent me a thing saying the last podcast I had, They were saying, yeah, the view counts is not right, so something's weird. And I'm saying, whatever. You know what? I don't do this for money, so I don't care. Like most people, I know for those who do make money off of this, I feel from in I say a little sympathy with them because this is their job and they feel that way. But I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna repeat what I was saying. Like you just the segue what you just said the mobile. Like I have to say, like I don't play mobile games. Have I played mobile games? Yes. Have I played per se a lot? No. But I do like when you put attack. But does mobile games do they have great ideas in mobile games? Definitely, yes.
Yeah.
I just don't like using my screen where I like tactile buttons and D-pads or whatever. It just feels to me. Again, and I'm all a gamer, so maybe that's just me. And I know new gamers could do. Again, I'm an old geezer, and the new school is coming through. Huh?
Dinosaur.
Yeah, I'm a dinosaur. The new kids want to touch everything, do everything. And again, I understand evolution because when we were young, we said the same thing to our parents. So I respect that. I'm not going to say negative towards that. But still, though, when I'm playing Icy, when I'm playing Manticore, when I'm playing Fall of Legion, these games and again, great games, good-looking games, all that stuff, just feels better with having a tactile control.
I agree. Was I the only one who was mad when they showed that new Platinum game? But it's a
yes.
I was so mad when I looked at the art. So I'm like, oh shit, they're finally making another Okami. I was like, oh no.
I didn't think we were making another Okami, but I was like, oh, this is something.
Because I saw the art style.
Yeah, no. You're right. No.
Demons from Okami.
It is, and it's some of this, like some of the way how they introduce the enemies is just like Okami.
I was like, man, they're making another Okami, and then I was like, oh no, it's a mobile game.
And of course, the other game. Well, that's going to PlayStation. I forgot the name of it. Grand Fantasy Blue or Grand Blue Fantasy. I think that's what it is. I forgot what the name. But that's going to PlayStation. But it is a mobile game first, and we'll see. Like I said, and that's more looking like a Tales / Final Fantasy style of game. Kind of. I'm not. They only done screenshot on video game. You know the trailers. But I like but it has that to feel to it. But I am not gonna lie with you. When I first saw that the kicking for the kicking trailer for that Ultimate Warrior, is it Ultimate Warrior or something Warrior the game? I was like, okay. I didn't think Okami. I was thinking, wow, they took a new style and adapted Okami to it. Grand Blue Fantasy. Thank you, man. I was like, oh, this is gonna be great. I'm like, oh yeah, and you know what? They still can. They might still can because again, those games that I just listed off were mobile games, and they put it over on the console and Switch, and I adore them. So hopefully they come to their senses. Whoever was it was not Dana. I think is Dana that partnered with them?
Yeah, I think DNA is doing the.
Okay, I think they partnered them to do with that game. I hope they were like, okay, you guys, hey, just put it on a console and see what happens.
I would like to do that. I would like some good controls. I'd totally be down with it.
Yeah, and that would be a good setup in there because again, that will work better for them. But if they want to put it on mobile, the ideas get out there. It's cool because again, there's like Manticore, like it's look. That's why everybody. That's why I don't like when people like push this one engine as the best engine of everything. Oh, Unreal Engine 4, blah blah blah. Like Manticore is one an engine that they create called their best engine. Is it used by other people on mobile? Yes. But when I play that on Switch, when I put it on my TV, it looks just as good as anything else.
Well, part of that could be art style and stuff.
No. I know that. I'm just saying it and they did a great job because the engine with the physics and everything. They did a great job also that I thought playing this game, and because I play other games, even through Star Fox, even to other games that I've played, even to Ace Combat, I thought they would have put a lot of invisible walls in places where I thought they're going to be put a invisible wall. Because I'm an old school game and I play so much, your mind just think, okay, there's going to be a invisible wall here. Surprisingly, not really. You literally can fly to some of these smallest crevices in these stations and stuff to get away from missiles. I was like, what? Dang. They think of all this stuff on this little mobile game. Of course, it looks like transcribed into a console game. I'm like, hell yeah. Now that made the game more interesting and more difficult because you can go through there and then next thing you know, somebody just like in video games, not even in the movies, somebody's waiting for you on the other end of that and snipe you off. You just don't know. But it just I like the concept that the invisible walls are not there. I was like, wow, okay. That opened up the game more in my mind and made me like it even more. So that's what I'm saying. Not my hat off to those guys who played again. Like again, Icy. If you like Bayonetta and you like those kind of fighting games, I'm telling you, Icy and it's $8.99. I'm telling you, I think you'll enjoy it. If you like Bayonetta, if you like 2D hack and slash, that's the kind of game because that is a good. It like Bayonetta, it feels good to pull off some of those combos or the connection of the hits. Same thing with Icy. It feels so feel like that.
I recently played a game that I thought it was going to be a joke, but it actually is fairly good, ironically. And I know I said this game was going to suck. Shaq Fu Legend Reborn.
I've seen a lot of people buying it. I'm not lying to you. I've seen a lot of people buying it, and that's cool. And so, well, let me put it this way. Let me not lie. I don't think I see a lot of people getting it because again, if you bought the NBA Playground, you get it for free. So a lot of people do have seen a lot of people putting it on. Like it was trending for a while for games when it came out.
Yeah, it's not like it's refreshing to play a game that recognizes that its last iteration was garbage, and it's just.
Go ahead.
And it acknowledges it.
I was going to say that the way I've seen the gameplay of some of the videos and the reviews and stuff, it doesn't take itself seriously. It knows what it's doing and is having fun with it. It's a it's a 90s game through and through because again the Icy Hot thing, which is like product placement like they used to do.
Because Shaq is
I know.
Used to be the. I think he may still be.
He still is.
The guy for Icy.
Well, that and Gold Bond.
Oh yeah.
Surprised they ain't got a Gold Bond in there. But yeah, he's that. So it is just it's like I said, they know they don't take themselves serious. They literally just, hey, it is what it is. Here you go. And I'm like I said, I've seen some gameplays on it. And again, I'll pick it up later on. I'm not denying. I'm not gonna because I have other games that just. I was already pre-ordered and it's gonna come, but that game I would have picked. I might add that to the repertoire. I already am because it looks. I've seen people just playing it and just enjoying it on. Yeah,
it's fun. It's better than the
fighting game of the past. Yes, it is.
Oh god, yeah, it's so much better than the fighting game of the past.
That is a surely sunshine. No, that ain't sunshine. That is. Basically oil and water. No way they don't mix. It's just the only thing is because of Shaq and Shaq make fun. I mean, and again, and when Shaq was doing that stuff back then, he was kind of being the character that he became who he was, but he didn't still settle in yet. But now we settle into being the clown, just having fun, being Diesel and just like the big dog Diesel. Let's have fun and do whatever it is.
Well, the hilarious thing about it that I just seem to forget, that I forgot is that like Shaq raps on it. Like he raps, and I forgot Shaq is double platinum.
Oh no, I know that.
I remember because I used to be one of those Shaquille O'Neal heads because at the time when he was getting really big, I lived in Florida. Near Orlando. I was with Orlando Magic. Yeah. So I was like a huge Shaq head. I was like, I forgot he was actually double platinum rapper. I forgot that. But
trust me,
old school. Actually pretty good.
I still remember the rap he did about Kobe a couple years ago, which was messed up. So hell.
Yeah. It was
Kobe. Tell me how my ass tastes. I was like, what the?
I'm like, damn, Shaq. Damn.
He had people singing that thing in the club, dude. I was like, holy crap. Yeah, but again, he's telling he's being a joker and what it is. He was a clown in the beginning, but People was just like this Bigfoot, this 7 foot tall guy, big guy is funny and whatever. They didn't, so he was kind of reserved on his being who he was. But then he just settled in and be who he was, and everybody likes it for what it is. So hey, shout out to you, Mailman, saying about what about a Charles Barkley DLC? Well, maybe I don't know.
That would be great because it would be Charles Barkley just talking mad shit to Shaq. Remember when you tried to rap? Yeah, but
I remember that interview. That
double platinum, motherfucker.
That interview between Shaq and Charles Barkley when they were going back and forth and jabs each other.
I mean, it looked like Shaq was going to stand up and step on Charles Barkley.
Charles Barkley didn't back down because Charles
was hilarious. Like he just gave him a look like if I could shoot a laser out of my cross eyes, I might not hit you, but it'll come.
Charles didn't step back. And Charles was saying all kind of stuff. It's like, oh man, I remember the interview on ESPN. That was just cringeworthy, but still hilarious. I was like, wow.
When you tried to rap, he's like, what? It's like I'm double platinum, motherfucker. But yeah, it was. I used to be a huge Shaq fan.
No, like I said, like I said, that's the next game that they did. I think they did the right choice, going to beat them up. I think they made the right choice when they did the game. Smart move. Shaq basically went in there and did his lines and stuff and do what he's supposed to do. That's good. Smart move on that. So shout outs that they took the right route and do that. Hopefully when they do NBA Playground 2, again, I know Doc is basically silent maybe because I was hearing background noise, so I don't think he was home at the time. But I hope when they do NBA Playground 2, they fix a lot of issues that I probably see. I'm not saying it wasn't a bad game, whatever, but it's the shooting mechanic was not on point like I thought it should have been. That's why I didn't purchase into it. None against the game. I just didn't see. Looking at the mechanics was just like, I'm saying.
Hopefully they'll polish it up.
Well, at least they did. That's what I'm saying. They're doing it too. So hopefully that's. And again, that's another thing right now. Kind of like Titanfall, like kind of a Titanfall, kind of a Red Sea, like a stuff. That's also happening more and more now. If you don't talk smack and you don't shoot yourself in the foot, like me and Red have been talking for the longest a while right now, whatever, you could salvage your game and turn it to something good with a version 2. Learn from your mistakes and change it around. You could do that. Red Steel 2 is a good example of what that with Red Steel 1. Titanfall 2, I didn't buy Titanfall 1 because of certain things. And then Titanfall 2, I did buy from a PC. And I enjoyed the game. You can do certain, if you didn't knock it out of the park in the first, whatever, but the idea is there. I think we should, see how that works. But a lot because of how things are going right now. Do I think Rare could make TFTs into something really great? Yeah, I could see it. But they shot themselves in the foot by talking a big game and rushed the game. That, it's best just to scrap it and just, hey, call it as it is, start do CSD2 or something else. Do not, it's a sinking ship right now. Point in time into that. There's a time when you need to know, okay, all right, this ship, too much damn holes is in the ship.
Well, it's like Kenny Rogers says, you got to know when to hold them, you got to know when to fold them, you got to know when to walk away, you got to know when to stay.
Yep.
And it's time to walk away on that game.
There's too much holes in that ship. Do I look at the holes in that boat? That boat, when the ship is crashing, which is Microsoft, when the ship is sinking, you jump on the rubber dinghy and the dinghy got holes.
Yeah.
Just swim. Just forget it.
Well, the rats are leaving. The rats are leaving the ship. The rats are gone. And it's sad, but I mean, here's the thing. I'm saying it that Microsoft is probably going to leave the home console market. I don't want Microsoft to leave the home console market because the more competition, the better it is. But,
you can't force the market to do something if people don't want it.
Exactly. It's like Doc said earlier. I mean, personally, I think the Wii U was more innovative than the Switch is. But I mean, the vast majority of the market didn't want it, so they went with the Switch. Microsoft. I mean, like Microsoft can't make a portable. I mean, because we let's not forget the Zune. I mean, Microsoft can't really make a portable, so it's like, where can they go from here? Well, the other market that they pretty much dominate is PC, so it makes sense for them to move a lot of their stuff to PC. Am I happy about it? Do I want, I mean, I want there to be more competition, but it's sad, but what are you going to do? What are you going to do?
No. Again, market tells in some things, market forces no matter what. Excuse me. That we can't really control. It is, it sucks that way. And you put out the point that basically I agree with, because again, it's just what it is right now. We're gaming, but we'll see how it works out. The sad part about it is, again, before those markets and people, I ain't gonna say market force Nintendo to listen more to certain people, and then that's what we're getting, the kind of stuff we're getting right now. Is what it is. It's kind of messed up that's how it's going. That's why I'm mostly, as I shared in my last video and shared on Google Plus, I got myself a good collection of games. I'm good. I'm all right. If the ship is gonna sink, let it sink. I'm already in rubber digging, basically rowboarding away from the Titanic. I'm like, all right, y'all want to save that big boat? Go right ahead. I'm going out here. You freeze your ass off, Liger. I'm not in the water. Y'all going into it, so go right ahead. You'll die of hypothermia before I ever do. I'll tell you that.
It's going to be sad seeing those people who are going to, lose their stuff. I don't want to see people lose their jobs. I don't want to see, I don't want to see people, go out of business and stuff. But I mean,
at the studio. Well, okay. As a studio, yes, but I could see, again, Microsoft, if they do exactly what most of the board heads were saying back in 2000, that one I did had, saw the transcript of what they wanted to do, and basically I've seen it be implemented piece by piece. If they do what they said in 2012, I should say, not 2000, sorry, 2012, that they're going to, they really want to just roll Microsoft, the Xbox division into Microsoft Windows, yeah. That's just basically that's your projection. It should be. So we'll see how that works out. That's just how gaming lies itself. Again, you make some mistakes. All of us, all these companies, Nintendo as well, all these companies make mistakes. They got to feather the weather, see what if they could ride out the storm and make it good. I mean, people say the Wii U was whatever, and to a degree, but Nintendo weathered the storm on that one, and they ride out through with a nice into the sun or whatever. But again, they made some missteps lately, and we'll see how that pays off in the end game. How that work out? That's just what we're gonna see. But it is just like I said, it's something that we're gonna see going forward. And right now, we'll wait. Next week is gonna be. Am I gonna per se watch it? No, not gonna lie to nobody. I'm not. I got other things to. I got other things. Porn. Like I said, I have a radio show. I got to next week for sure. Before I head down to do a donation drive to help, to go help people in the hurricane places to get them prepared for hurricane season and stuff like that. Technically speaking, I'm gonna be buying supplies tonight itself, and I'm finished it to go down there with to help people out, but. E3, somebody asked me a question and said, "Man, are you looking forward for this?" Even the person like, "Man, I know you're a big Metroid fan. Are you looking forward to that Metroid Prime 4?" I'm like, not really. I'll be honest, not really. Am I happy there's a Metroid game coming out? Yes, but I'm not per se super excited, which I'm not. I'm not really a hypeful person, like I said. And the reason I say that is not because Cincinnati they're doing something good, or are you worried? It's not because it's not retro. Not really, because Cincinnati was the co-designer anyway, and that's what he is. So I'm all right with that. It's just that the Metroid fan base is just so toxic. I just don't get. I feel like I don't want to reward those assholes for what they've done. Sorry, you bitched about Federation. You wanted to stop. You didn't want that. Okay, whatever. Then a good game came along, and y'all didn't want to support it. So it's like,
yeah, they acted like spoiled little brats. They're like, we don't like this because it's not. It doesn't have Samus. They acted like little feculent, little spoiled children.
But then you have a game that okay, that's what it is. Cool. Here's a surprise. Everybody, when they showed off Return of Samus, which, like I said, I knew that was going to happen. But when they showed off Return of Samus, everybody was like, "Wow, this is a great surprise! I didn't see this coming." Blah blah blah, and it's coming out in 2 months. Holy crap, this is awesome! Reviews came out. Reviews were great. You got handheld game of the year. So it's not like a bad game. No, by no stretch of the imagination. But y'all didn't want to buy it. Talk about it, but y'all didn't want to buy it. You didn't put them in your mouth. So it's like, I don't care anymore. I don't. People was like, well, Metroid could sell 1 million on the Switch or 2 million on the Switch. Like normally I would say that's a good thing, but because of how the gamers are, I stick to my claim, and I still would stick to my claim. If that thing don't sell 5 million within the first year, maybe a year and a half, I don't even go that, bro. I don't want to hear crap. I don't. The way that y'all talk and all that fervor you guys have for this IP, as y'all say, don't care no more. Just don't. I'll buy it. I'll enjoy it for what it is. If it's for what it is, and just be happy. And if he has great, innovative gameplay in there, I'll talk about it and whatever. But no, I'm just no. Y'all just basically just you fake fans just wore my as another radio host I listen to and talk to. You basically tire my ass out. I can't deal with it no more.
Well, so, I mean, I have to say the Metroid fan base is kind of it's not the worst fan base. It's pretty bad.
But it's not a worst fan base in a collective if you put everything together. But into the detriment of a game, it's up there.
Yeah, because I mean, you've got people who have never played the game who talk about how they know so much about it, but they never played it, which is hilarious to me. Because I mean, it's like playing one game in a franchise does not make you an expert in said franchise.
Well, yeah, I'll give an example right here. You're right, and I'll give an example right here. I just happens upon the channel. I don't subscribe, whatever. But he called himself the Metroid Trainer. I was like, okay, whatever. He had a video saying the worst, and don't get me wrong. Every game is not going to be perfect, as I always say, so we get that. He was saying that the worst upgrades that Samus has gotten. I said, okay, you know what? Let me listen to his list. It's subjective, so let me listen to this. And again, I could respect his opinion, but most of the things he picked, except for two that he gave a great reasoning for. He gave reasoning for it. I understand that, but the other three, it was basically nitpicking sake for nitpicking sake. Even though it's like yours what Red just said. If you look at these things, but Metroid has always been an exploratory type of game. Why are you angry that it does this? That's what the upgrade was supposed to do. And
yeah, that's the thing that gets me about people who are like that claim they're Metroid fans. They're like, well, I don't like backtracking. It's like, but that's what you do in Metroid games. Like, I mean, I think it's weird that more Metroid games now are focusing so much on combat, because I'm like, combat was never really the main point. It was basically like,
exploration, looking around. Yeah, I mean, yeah, and that's what Gunpei Yokoi tried to establish in that. And like I said, he was saying some things. The two things he was saying that that it was basically opposite of what the powers were, which is like I said, I was like, wait, that's just that they put it in there for a specific reason, and then they didn't like a thorough reason. Like okay, one of his number one was the screw attack in 3D mode. I respect that one because you've been playing this game so much with the screw attack that you know that when you start spinning, you're basically a spinning ball of death. Yeah. But basically, it became a way to transverse gaps and a jumping mechanism in Metroid Prime. I respect that. I say, you know what, you're right. That's good. I get you. It's not because you can't really direct it that well in the 3D space in Prime. I said, you know what? Number one, I agree with that. But to say like the speed boost and all that stuff, in which we get, of course, Shine Spark and everything, like, dude, that's pretty damn cool. What are you talking about? Oh, it slows down the game because you got to chain it with this, and then it doesn't do that much. I'm like, you really didn't play this game that much. The Shine Spark, really? All the creative ways that they hide some of the damn missiles and expansions with the Shine Spark, dude, you don't know about this game.
Like I said, a lot of people, they only play they only played Metroid Prime.
Jeez. Cause yeah, I was just looking at that little video, and again, I didn't thumbs down or nothing. I just listened to those like, yeah, and you say you're a Metroid fan, and I'm listening to this. I'm like, okay, yeah, wow, okay, all right, okay, and you see how they work out. But again, if they put something in there, we'll see. We'll see. Like I said, Nintendo basically has the last hurrah on Wednesday, so they'll do it. And again, people. Well, again, most people listen to my voice automatically knows they're gonna have the presentation, blah blah blah, and they're gonna have the treehouse, and then you're gonna see what happened with the treehouse. That's what you're gonna see. And again, with 2015, the day of doom that everybody predicted again. I don't get it. That's Nintendo's worst outing. Okay, whatever. But they gave you information. The information was factually correct because wait a minute, Sea of Thieves was announced back in 2015, and we getting it now. Horizon Zero Dawn was announced in 2015. We got it last year. But Nintendo, except for Star Fox, but it still was within the year. All the games they announced came out. And it was working, and it was not a glitch-written bug. So, and as usual, we saw gameplay. No CGI trailers, no stuff. Y'all say it was the worst outing. Okay, did it have the hype? No, I give you that. But again, I don't look for E3 as this hype thing or whatever. Red Fox have said in his video, it's information. You give me the information. I see what I like. Is I'm gonna purchase this or not? It was an information situation in the first place with the press and stuff when the E3 really started, but when they started letting the public in and they got all this, and it's kind of like with the Xbox 360. They got the hype recognition. E3 became a big name, and they were like, "Oh, E3 became its own buzzword."
Well, I kind of have to disagree a little bit on that one.
Okay.
E3 originally was the Consumer Electronics Show. And it was just for the industry, and no one really paid attention to it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And then when they initially let the public in, it was like, okay, this is a cool way for people to learn about what what new products are coming out, how this can be interesting. And it was kind of interesting. When they initially closed it off to the public and then allowed the media in, it kind of fell apart because instead of like, how is this going to connect with the common people who are going to buy this product, who you want to buy the product, it became this hype show, and that's where it kind of fell apart a little bit.
I would add a tangent to what you just said. Not a tangent, but I add something to what you just said. The media was there, but these were people who were not obsessed with whatever. They reported on it. So like your MSNBC, your CNET, whatever, was doing that too. But like you said, it's when IGNs and everything took it to another level. That's what that's where it became more of a dick measuring contest.
Yep.
GameSpot, IGN, because remember, CNET is the head corporation of GameSpot. So when they put it out that way and all that blah blah blah, that's what happened. So yeah, it's going what you. I agree with what you said, but I'm just dissecting just a little bit more than how you dissect the first one I did. Like yeah, it just went that way, and of course, and then again, and then everything's like, I don't think I told a story. Well, I ain't gonna tell a story. A quick little tsunami, really. When I was growing up, I would say this. Everybody has their bucket list. They want to do something in life that, see if they're going to happen. If it's not, it's not. We'll see how that works out, blah, blah, blah. There was a bucket. My bucket list was things. This is so funny. When I started working in the gaming industry in 2005, per se, I was thinking, wow, I thought my bucket list, my bucket list that going to E3 was on my bucket list. Just wanted to see what it is, see the atmosphere. Don't go all too crazy with it. That was on my bucket list. I'm not gonna deny it. And the two things that was low on my bucket list, and that's not lower like lower because I don't want to go there, is low by possibility, chances of it happening. Like, I would like to go to space and just look at it, and of course come back to Earth, intact and no problem. But the chances of that is super high. So it's like, I would like to do it, but it ain't gonna happen. So come down to reality. You know what I mean? But I wanted E3 was updated to think it was and working in the gaming industry. E3 was more entertainable when I started working in the gaming industry. I'm thinking, okay, yeah, I'll get to go there. I'll enjoy that. I like to go there, Nintendo, and get the swag and everything, and happen with that. But the two things that was lower than that in the chance of probability, it happened. I didn't think it would have never happened, but it happened. I was like, and right now, not even right now, I think. Literally 2015, my lust for wanting to be at E3 died off. I was just like, I don't care for it no more. Just don't.
You saw how the sausage was made, and you were like, yeah, I don't really. You want to know what ruined E3 for me? It wasn't 2015, because a lot of people are like, oh, E3 2015. It was basically the realization that it was when Microsoft showed off the Xbox One, and Sony showed off the PS4 at E3, and I was like, these two consoles literally have fucking nothing I want. They literally are doing the same thing. There's no almost every console had unique experiences that you could only get on that console. Like if you had a Sega Master System, you could play Wonder Boy, or that game with the weird kid who plays rock paper scissors with the bosses. I forgot the title of it. You could, or the Shinobi, the reasonably good Shinobi ports for the time. If you had a Genesis, you could play Sonic the Hedgehog, Shining Force. Like everything had its own unique thing. The TurboGrafx 16 had Bonk and all those side-scrolling and vertical-scrolling shooters. Like literally, there is nothing unique about any of these consoles except for the Nintendo one. And I was like, damn, what? And I was like, I'm done. I can't fake myself into feeling excited about this.
Yep. And I got you, and everybody will come to their own conclusion in certain ways, and that was just for me right there how that worked out, because I was like, man, it just whatever, because I thought, and here's the sad part, to be honest, the reason I said that the things that was lower than that, I mean the probability of that happened, and it happened, is that it went way beyond that I ever thought of happening. I thought as you guys heard me talk about a while ago, I'm a big football, y'all call it soccer. I'm a big football fan. So I wanted to go to a FIFA World Cup. I wanted to go for a FIFA World Cup and just be there and just enjoy it. Now, of course, that happened. I enjoyed it. I went there and enjoyed it. My team didn't win, but I went there and enjoyed it anyway, and I had fun. I never saw myself performing in said stadium doing music. One and two, I didn't think the song that me and my band created would have been on the official feed for soundtrack in 2006. I went to FIFA in Germany 2006. I never saw that coming. I thought that's okay, but me going there, I said, well, I make good money. I might one of these days I'll get there and hopefully that works. Then another one was just to go. It was that I was going to perform Tomorrow World, and holy crap! If you ever go Google Tomorrow World, put it on YouTube, you see it's not thousands, it's hundreds of thousands, millions of people go to this show every and that's every freaking year because again it kind of gone down a little bit because of the whole what's going on in Europe with all the attacks and stuff. But when I did it last year, because that's where I was last year when I went in the summer, and I see a crowd. I literally was on the stage. I was thinking Barcelona, Michael Jackson. When Michael Jackson did his big show in Barcelona, and you just see a wave of hands. And you're thinking, my God, it looks like a wave and everything. It's like when I look out that sound, I was like, good grief, right? And out of the back of my mind, that was the first time in 2007. That's the first time in, I think 2008 was the last time I was nervous performing in front of people. Because I was just like, wow, that's a lot of people. That's a lot of people. I'm going out there and I'm going to do music in front of them. But it happened. But E3, it is, like I said, it dropped off, and I'm just like, nah.
Man.
Nah.
Yeah. I mean, that's how I feel about it. Like, people like, man, I'm going to watch this. I'm like, I'll probably catch the highlights, like, after the fact. Be like, oh, they showed this. Okay, cool. But I'm not like, I'm riveted.
No,
riveted.
You're exactly right. So we'll see how that works out. I'm not, as I said before, not per se saying that it's gonna, can we get some surprises? Of course we're gonna get surprises. I've looked at some of the press release that I've gotten, some of them, not all of them, and I see some things that I think generally going to make people pissed off, and I see some things that are going to generally make people like, wow, this is pretty cool. And I'll wait and see what the if I was right or not in my mind. I just don't. I'm the person that don't spoil things for people. So let's see what happened. And hey, I hope they. I hope the ones I don't really know per se. I just hope that the surprises are good surprises and it helps gaming go further along. I generally mean that. Like, if Sony comes out with a game that is surprising and is a good game, I wouldn't have no problem doing it, because again, I am gonna pick up a PlayStation 4 because there's a lot of games on there. I can say super loud, but they're exclusive that I want to play on that console. And I'm not gonna buy no damn PlayStation Pro. I'm giving me a Slim. Don't care for the whole, it's more power graphics. I don't give a rat's ass about that. I just want to play the damn game.
Don't be like someone we know.
Yeah, I know, right?
Now, who are you talking about, man? Put it in the chat. I don't know who you're talking about.
I know he's talking about Terrell.
What, he was like complaining about the PS4 and then bought a PS4?
He literally trashed the PS4 Pro, saying no reason to buy a PS4 Pro, and then bought a PS4 Pro. It's you can't do that. So it's like, whatever. I'm gonna buy a Slim because it's gonna be cheaper, and of course it's gonna be more cheaper because it's gonna be used, because I ain't buying a new one.
Yeah.
I'm gonna enjoy it. But there are experiences on the console that I generally want to play. So I'm not gonna say again, because I bought a Vita, and those games that I've bought on a Vita, I've enjoyed fully and enjoyed it.
Every time there's a game on the PS on the PS4, I'm like, man, I'm totally looking forward to that game. I'm gonna get a PS4 for it. And they're like, oh, it's also coming to PC. Well, shit.
Well, that's a different story. Yeah, like there are games that came to PC that, again, the Tales games, I bought it on PC, so that's that. But the Trials of Cold Steels, the SRWs. Again, I would generally pick up Detroit again, because I've played. My cousin got it, and I played it, and I enjoyed it. I've enjoyed it, and I'll pick. And if I keep on playing and the game still getting me feeling good, I'll pick it up and for my console. Like I said, I could see easily 10 games on a console that I would love to enjoy and pick up, including some RPGs that never came to the other consoles. They're legitimately some RPGs in there. And again, the Grand Blue, the one that we're talking about it again that we have. Oh, Grand Blue Fantasy. If that's made by Platinum, if that's really good, hey, more power. I'll buy it. I'm not gonna play it on the phone, so I'm not gonna play it on the phone. I'll play it on the. I'll have the tactile control of the DualShock. So
I can understand that. Yeah, like I said, that's how I feel about it's like I'll probably at this point I'll probably get a PS4 when the PS5 comes out when it's really really cheap. Because I mean that's how I was with all my Sony consoles. Like I didn't get a PS1 until the PS2 came out. I didn't get a PS2 until the PS3 came out. And at this point, like the PS3 was the first Sony console that I got like well into its life cycle. But now I'm gonna wait until their next console comes out because it's just I just don't want to spend a lot of money on it. Like I want to spend if I can get one for under $200, I'll be happy.
Well, and they do have some. They do have some because I remember when I went to Best Buy when I bought what was it? The last Vita game I bought from Best Buy. They had it for they had a PlayStation Slim that was used for like $150. So it's like
yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'm gonna wait, and then I'll get that and maybe some other stuff and just call it a day.
No, you're right, and that's just what I'm looking for. But again, it has to have the experience.
I'm a cheap bastard.
I got you. There's just more stuff that needs to be looking forward for in an array, and even for me, to be honest, I think that's gonna happen. I think the PlayStation Wii. Shoot, I should look at it. No, I made a mistake. Sorry, I'm combining because I'm looking at something on the screen. The PlayStation 4 gonna drop down in prices. It's gonna do unlike what people thought gonna happen with that's gonna happen with the Wii U. Because hell, the Wii U still like I said, you're trying to get a brand new Wii U console. Is $749.
Damn. Well, hell, no wonder they're charging $60 for old Wii U games ported to the Switch. It's cheaper than the brand new Wii U.
It is cheaper. No, and you're right. Literally, it is cheaper because I want. Wow. Like I said again, I said it because I want a backup system. I want a backup system. When I buy a second Switch, well, if they do a Switch 2.0, then I'll get a Switch and then Switch 2.0 in its way. I like backup system because again, and the reason I'm buying. And again, I know I'm talking about me, of course, for me. The reason I'm buying some of the games that's kind of ports, not all of them, but some of the ports on my Switch, and of course I'm not buying it day one because I'll get it cheaper. Like Red, if I want to support it, I'll support it. If I don't think it's not like Hyrule Warriors, I'll wait until Christmas time when it gets cheaper to buy it, even though what it is. Because this drive,
they fail.
They fail. Their failure rate. They're not. It's not that they don't. It's not that their failure rate is that their longevity is not that great. I still have my Game Boy still work, and I bought that thing in '96.
Yeah,
and it still works to this day, and the cartridges still work to today. Battery, the whole battery thing, but still, it still worked. Like I could still play it and enjoy it. So my 64s, my Super Nintendos. Still work.
Normally I would say I'd be 100% behind you, but my GameCube still works. But then again, I have two of them.
No, mine still work. I'm just saying it. Like I said, it's just that you have a spinning drive. Well, you don't have to do that with the console. I'm just like factually and simply. You just reading off of just the tabs off of the connectors with those consoles. Spinning drives. The ball bearings or the lens is the ball bearings or the slider on the lens is gonna give away, and then
the laser,
or the laser, I forgot about that. Or the laser is gonna be like, fuck you.
That's why. I mean, I was about to disagree. It was like, wait, I have two GameCubes too. Never mind. I 100% agree with
Well,
you.
I kind of have two GameCubes too. Of course, one slash with the Wii. That's what it is. But
No,
yeah.
I mean, I literally just
No, I know
have
you have-
two
yeah.
GameCubes, two Wiis, like
I have
real
two
Wiis.
Wiis.
I have a black one and a white one. I
Well,
have two Wii U's. I finally went like before they canceled it. I got another one because they had a sale. And I mean, I'm quite like, which is weird because I have, well, no, I guess technically because I have a Super Famicom and a Famicom. So that's, I mean, a Super Famicom and a Super Nintendo. So that's two. Yeah, I have a lot of duplicates.
no, well, it's just that. I mean, look, as you said many times on your podcast, gaming is an expensive hobby.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
And if you and we are and look, and I understand how people make their games. So we're gamers. We're passionate about our hobby. Some to a fanatical place. I'm not there. I how I said I wasn't ever there. Yes, I was, but I have torn that shit back down from since 7th generation. Just I don't give a crap no more. I just it's like if oh man, I'm going kayaking and they were like, oh man, you got the newest kayak and all that stuff. Dude, just give me a canoe and give me or canoeing, give me just a regular wood boat and the paddles. I'm good. I'm happy. I'm just enjoying the nature and doing it itself more than I need to have the most $10,000 canoe to do up. No. Give yourself $100. I'm floating, paddling. I'm enjoying it. That's where I'm at with gaming now. Literally. You could talk a good game and say, but man, like this canoe has AC and all that. I'm there to enjoy what's going around, the water, the tranquility, the nature itself. That having a fancier boat does not make me feel any better. Sorry.
Look, man, I'm just trying not to get wet. I just want to be dry and swim my
right
down the river.
So yeah, so having a backup console in case of something ever happens is per se that's what I want to do. I spend too much money in the medium that I want to pass it down to my kids if by some chance I get kids, or to at least what if not. But that's one reason. But two, because I kind of did it with my sister, and it felt good passing it on, and she enjoying the games, and me and her play together now and all that stuff. But two, like the way I ain't gonna say, look, I never thought cord cutting would it. If you go back to in 2000 and tell me, hey, like cord cutting will be what it is in 2018, I'll be like, you're bullshitting me. Please, that ain't gonna happen. But we stuck more to our phones and tablets and don't want a cable. And again, I cord cut because I was like all these channels and none of it's really talking to me no more. So I cord cut. So yeah, with all that stuff happening right now, me watching a lot of TVs and movies still different. I watch a lot of movies, but and anime, but the way real life TV has been, like I said, I don't watch basketball as I used before. I don't watch baseball like I used to before. And those are sports, well, not basketball. I used to play baseball a lot when I was in high school, Little League to high school, playing baseball. Still love World Cup soccer. That's just me from just liking it because the reason I told a person that last night at the studio, I said the reason I like World Cup FIFA legitimately is because they kind of do like Nintendo, like every 4 years it happens. It's not every year, and you're like, it dies down. The fondness of not having it sometimes make it good, and that's what I like about it. But other than FIFA and maybe a Super Bowl once, or Super Bowl or NCAA for once in a while, if have enough people come over to the house and we have a party about it, whatever. I don't watch live TV like that no more. I just don't. So,
yeah, I can appreciate that.
Yeah, right now,
I cut the cord myself.
Yeah, so right now, gaming has taken over that spot. It really has. And with all the great games coming from, like I said, from mobile games into whatever, the indies have stepped up their games. And the quirky third parties that they were like, of course, that we saw and we enjoyed ourselves from the Okamis and all the other stuff. And Nintendo, Sony, Microsoft again because again, I also want to get God of War 4, played a little bit of it. I liked it. It's not the other one, but it's still enjoyable. But my point is the exclusive, the Sunset Overdrive, and all that stuff, and all those different games we have. Like I got a backlog on a GameCube still. I have a backlog on not a lot. Backlog, and I got a little backlog on the Wii itself, maybe 2 or 3 games. The Wii U, I got a good backlog. 3DS to the frig. It ain't even a joke.
Yep.
That's a big backlog on the 3DS. The Switch, I have, like I said, you saw the picture I have close to 15 games. I've not defeated all those 15 games. So, yeah, I spend too much money on the medium for the thing to play. It's like I spend too much money on gas for my car to destroy itself. I just don't. So
unless you're EA and it charges money for virtual gas.
Hey. Though we should not speak. Speaking of the Devils, basically it's going close to Friday, but Saturday they're gonna start it off. Let's see if EA is gonna be EA or they're gonna try to do some sort of miracle.
I don't think they're gonna do a miracle.
Hey, I'm just being optimistic.
I think they're
for
gonna
the game for me because
they're gonna do smoke and mirrors to try and fool people into thinking, hey, remember how we tried to F you over with all those microtransactions earlier this year and last year? Look at this puppy. Isn't this puppy cute? Yeah, the puppy's cute, isn't it? Yeah, that puppy is cute. But I'm still not forgetting how you tried to screw me over with those microtransactions.
Exactly. I am with you with that. And it's just, like I said, we'll just see how it works out in the end. So, guys, again, EA, I think it's EA going to be Saturday. Bethesda and Ubisoft. I think Sony and Bethesda, then Ubisoft and another third party, then Microsoft, then Nintendo. So, hey, we'll see what happens. Let's see what the game.
Bethesda.
Well, we'll see how they're working out. Cause right now they've been teasing, and you saw it. They've been teasing the 76 and stuff, and even everybody's been holy crap. I mean, my free's been knocked up with the whole pre-order this, pre-order that, and all that stuff. I'm like, again, we pre-ordering the concept again. I don't.
Yeah, they don't even know what the game is, and they're already like, "Yeah, man, pre-order it now."
Yep.
I'm like, I don't feel comfortable pre-ordering a game when I don't know what it is.
I'm the way. Yeah, it doesn't feel that great as well. Too. We'll see how that work out.
Especially considering how Bethesda's been messing up Fallout.
Well,
as of late.
Yeah, no, I agree with you, and you know more. You guys know more than that to me, other than me looking into it. Me looking through the glass window, looking into seeing how the zoo is with Bethesda. So we'll see how that work out. And again, there's been so right now, like I said, coming this June, which is tomorrow. Tomorrow is going to be the release of Sushi Strikers. Again, I wish I could get day today, but I'm not. But I fairly did enjoy the demo, and I'm going to pick up that game. And like you said, Terrell, now that I see how they made the game, like I said, I see why it was that price. People just thought it was a simple game. It could be like a $30, $20, but they put production in it. The voice acting and the animation in there, yeah, to tell the story. And if the content is really there, then yeah, I see it worth what it's supposed to be. So we'll see how that works out. And guys, I don't know if I'll do any other podcasts. Maybe not. You are going to see some videos, of course, from me, even though I'm going to be out of the country. I have a review of you know what? I'll say this. Are you still having your podcast and stuff for this weekend, Mr. Red Fox?
Yep.
Okay.
Yes, I am.
Any specific topics you're bringing up that you want to let the people know about for Saturday or Sunday?
Saturday, just regular sci-fi power hour ish.
Okay.
Talking about science fiction movies, mostly how Solo failed so miserably.
Oh boy.
Yeah,
I've seen.
I actually like that movie.
I've seen the previews, and I was like,
it's actually pretty good. I
Okay, I'll let you go ahead. See what you're gonna say, because
the thing that hurts that movie is all the rumors that came out before it, and a lot of people had preconceived notions about the film. Like they already were like they were gonna hate it regardless. And plus, the film is hurting because The Last Jedi was such a piece of shit that it divided the fan base. That people are like, well, fuck it, I'm just gonna not support anything. And it was like, you know,
that is true too.
And they released it at the wrong time. It really should have been released separately from all this other stuff that crowded it out.
Yeah, I was gonna. That's okay. 3 great points that Red Fox brought up. Another one would be, and Razorfist brought it up in his video. Just the people getting burned out.
Well, yeah, Star Wars isn't special anymore. And you know,
you had The Last Jedi just a while ago, just for Christmas or so, and then you just brought this up 6 months later. 6 months or 4 months?
Roughly 6 months.
Yeah, you're getting burned out. Like, come on, you're not making it. You're not, as you just said. You said correctly. You're not making Star Wars winning what's special. You're dumbing it down. It's just like,
well, I mean,
I'm not saying the story or nothing. I'm talking about because again, they're
flooding the market. Yeah,
there's a factor of having, like Nintendo does, the fondness of not having it there all the time makes you go, like, again, the Zelda. Zelda goes through the cycle of, oh, it's great, then afterward it's kind of shitty, and I don't know if they're gonna do it with Breath of the Wild. We'll see. It's kind of shitty, whatever, and then they're like, oh, new Zelda's coming. Oh, hell yeah, we're ready for it, because it's so far apart.
Well, I mean, it's like I can kind of see that point of view, but it's also just the thing of, it's like it's kind of like how people are always saying people are tired of superhero movies. Well, the numbers don't lie. People aren't tired of superhero movies. They're tired of bad superhero movies. It's kind of like it's like at this point, like The Force Awakens was like, people were hyped over it because they hadn't seen the Star Wars movie for like 10 years. Yeah. But it wasn't that good. It was okay, but it wasn't great. The Last Jedi was very divisive, and it pissed a lot of people off. So now they're kind of angry. Now, the single story Star Wars films, I actually have enjoyed. Even Solo, I enjoyed. I like Rogue. Rogue One was fun.
Yeah,
Rogue One was fun, and you know, I saw Solo. Like I said, I saw Solo, and a lot of people are getting mad. They're like, well, I don't like this. I don't like this. It's like, well, literally, almost the entire plot of Solo was taken from extended universe stuff. So if you're a real Star Wars fan and you read the extended universe books, you should love this shit, because that's literally what they used to inspire all of this. Like the people who were like really angry, they shouldn't have done this to Solo. It's like, you only saw the movies, didn't you? and that's okay. I mean, that's your thing. But a lot of the people who were really pissed off about Solo, it's like it's almost like Metroid fans who were like, well, Metroid needs to be this, and this. And it's like, well, did you play, which Metroid games did you play? I only played Metroid Prime. It's like, okay, that's the problem. and so basically, you know, Solo, like I said, plus the whole reshoot thing ballooned up the budget. So I mean, there's a lot of things that got behind it, but I don't think the film, like the people who've seen the film, like no one came out of it. The people who actually saw it and didn't have preconceived notions came out of it and said, this movie is total and complete shit. Plus, I mean, it shows you why you should never fuck with a Wookiee, because Chewbacca straight up murders a man in the film. I mean, he straight up smashes a guy, planks a guy head first into the ground, and he ain't making it at the end of this film. He's dead.
Got you.
He's just completely.
No, I got you. So, like I said, because right now, trust me, I literally. And Triple M was dead. I was talking to Triple M, when I saw the news, it was like, y'all just killing this franchise. And it was already dead, so hell. When I saw the trailer for Bumblebee, I'm like, really? Another Transformer movie?
Yeah.
Can you guys just stop? Just stop.
You want to know what the sad thing is that I saw the trailer for Bumblebee, and ironically, it looks better than anything that came from Michael Bay in those 5 fucking films he directed, because the guy who's directing Bumblebee is a guy who is an animator. Like he comes from an animator background.
I
So
got you.
when he shows the Transformers transforming, they actually look like fucking Transformers transforming, and not that shit that Michael Bay did that everyone thought was so good. Oh, this is great. I'm like, no. Like I was the one who's like, this is shit. It was shit in the beginning, and it just got ironically, Michael Bay, the first Transformers film was bad, and they got consecutively worse with each film. And I was the odd man out saying this shit is shit, and people are like, no, you don't know what you're saying. No, this is terrible. This is not good.
Well, I said if people have the same reaction as I did, then maybe we don't have to get it, because again, I'm not saying that the movie is not it could be good or bad. I really don't. I'm just burned out.
Yeah, if they keep the budget low, it might be good.
Because wasn't it last year that Dark Knight came out on the
last night? Yeah,
last night. So it's like,
the difference between you and me is that I didn't watch. Like I stopped watching the Transformers.
No, I did not watch Dark. I didn't watch
after.
I'm just saying. No, I didn't watch that movie. I've not watched the last night. I'm just saying.
Well, I'm just saying. I'm not burnt out like a lot of people because I stopped watching them. Like really, like I watch bits and pieces of the Transformers film when they come on TV. Like they'll have them on cable, and because I have like some of the premium channels, like streaming, and I'm like, oh, it's Transformers, and I'll watch a little bit. I'm like, this is shit, and then I'll go watch something else. But so I'm not as burnt out as other people, but even I could tell that like you could. I mean, when the Chinese who apparently love giant robots beating the shit out of each other are like, man, fuck this. Your franchise is not doing too well.
Yeah.
But then again, they didn't like Black Panther, so fuck them.
Anyway,
it's too dark. Really? A movie about people in Africa is too dark?
Got you. So that would be your sci-fi. What about the
I'm sorry, I went off on a tangent. Yeah.
It's all right. I'm just saying you have that for
Ghostbusters, and we're giving our E3 predictions. That's it.
So
we're just going to predict. We're going to say, okay, what do you think EA is going to do? What do you think Bethesda is going to do? We're going to do the E3 predictions, just short, concise predictions for the third parties, the big three. Who do we think is going to be the belle of the ball, like who we should really look out for that isn't like Nintendo or the big three, like last year Devolver Digital with their awesome skit that showed no games but was just hilarious. Like they showed Suda51. It's like, hi, I'm Suda51. Who are you? Get out of my office. It was just hilarious. Like, what the fuck?
That's true.
I just thought that was hilarious. Like, who are you? Get out of my office.
Yeah. No, I testify with you on that. That is something that is that was a good. What they did that year was pretty good. I like that. So yeah, we'll see what happens with that. And so there you go. So Mr. Red Fox, BS Plus is going to be Sunday. Going to have the EV's production, short, small, precise. Kind of wish you could join it because, like I said, right now I'm just doing so much charity work in a way to help do stuff for the hurricane season in the Caribbean. So I know I'm going to be busy as hell. Me and my boss on my main job say, hey, man, can you draw some drawings? Because, the shake up at my job, we're trying to stay ahead. Since I'm going to be going off down there. And then after that, he's going to take, not my boss, but the second in command guy just above me. He's going to take a couple of days off as well, too, in the summer, which has become a busy-ass thing for us. He's like, can you work this weekend? I'm like, no. No, sorry, got too much stuff on my hands to work on to carry down to the Caribbean. So no. So, but yeah, the BS buses did that. I would say Sprite, you still there?
Yeah.
I mean, I know you still have some of your do you use your Twitch?
Yeah, I do it Monday through Thursday, 12 o'clock, depending on the day, depending on what I stream.
All right.
I try to be consistent as I can, but stuff can happen. Like one time I was streaming, the power went out, or Spectrum, because that's such a crappy internet from service provider, went out for a couple hours. So
Got you. So, but is it the same name as Sprite Remix on Twitch?
It's just Sprite Mix on Twitch.
Sprite Mix on Twitch.
Yeah.
You know what? And I'll give a shout out to Mailmint. Yeah, we might see something. We might see something. I forgot about the Travis touchdown. We might see some good gameplay from Suda 51 with Travis touchdown. The game too. So you're right. We'll see the treehouse. We'll see. We will see. That'll be something I would look forward to see if they put some gameplay of that in the treehouse. I'm more interested in treehouse per se. I would say that.
Yeah, because they go into depth about stuff. It's not just like, yeah, look at this trailer. No gameplay. You want gameplay? Kiss my ass.
Exactly.
Expect the unexpected.
Yeah,
that's what happened last year. Because I'm like, oh wow, it was a pretty good presentation. Like the main one that was like 20-some minutes long. Like, oh, it's a good presentation. So something told me to stick around, and then they showed Metroid Samus. I'm like, what?
Yep, that's what I said. So remember that how that works out. But I think most of the guys who listen to me mostly know that Nintendo is not just digital presentation; it is the treehouse as well too, that's what it's supposed to be about. So check that out as well too. Excuse me, sorry about that. I don't know if I did not see in the setup if they're gonna do like the 3 days like they did last year. I think I only seen 1 day, but I didn't see it. So let's see if Nintendo's gonna do it again. I think
they're having the Smash Invitational for the new Smash.
No, they're doing the Smash Invitational and the Splatoon and everything. But I'm talking about like even when they had it for the other Smash and all the stuff, like the last year they had 3 days. The year before they had 2 days. Like the treehouse went on for days, not just 1 day. This time it looked like it's a one and done. But I didn't see officially that. I just saw what the scheduling was for E3, and it showed just Nintendo being Wednesday, and that's it. So we'll see. I mean, Nintendo could have their own treehouse separated from it. That's what they could do that, and keep an eye out for that. But we'll see. And then of course, even though he didn't talk that much, knowing him, he's gonna pop in for a quick second and say some bullshit. But if he did not, you could check out Dr. Feelgood. He had his OGL this week, where he had, of course, the resident Mr. Red Fox there. Game Idea, the Good Shepherd made his return. Pinky Don, and who else was there with you guys? Was it somebody else?
I think that was it.
Yeah, I know you joined in late because of what happened to this, but that's all it was, right, Red? It's y'all?
Yeah, it was me, Kanoshi, and
Kanoshi made it in. Okay.
And Sprite. I think there was someone else aside from Dr. Feelgood and Pinky Don.
Oh, now what I said. Go ahead. We know you're there, you bastard.
Come on, Doc. Speak up.
We know you're there.
Damn it. Speak up.
Y'all talking to me? Oh, I'm sorry.
Exactly. I said basically, right now we're wrapping up the show, and I said, but right now, knowing him, he's going to come back in right now.
Oh, yeah. I always say my pieces, man. I'm good. You know me.
Whatever. You were busy doing something else, bastard.
You got quiet as hell.
You ain't got no quiet. You were doing something else.
I know, right? Hang out with your wife.
Well, yeah, I had to fun my wife a little bit and take the dog for a walk. You know what I mean?
Okay. I got some breaking news for you.
So this is why you've been acting bipolar all week.
I got some breaking news for you. This is just real life news that's hilarious. Doug Ford, the brother of Rob Ford, the Toronto mayor who was smoking crack, has just been elected mayor of Ontario.
Why not?
And I just have a prediction. He will eventually be caught smoking crack as well because they're brothers. And
he might not. It could be.
He's going to pull a Marion Barry.
He might. Well, it's more than a 50% chance that might happen. So we'll see how that works out. But like I said, Dr. Feelgood
was so much fun.
Yeah. Dr. Feelgood had like I said, he had his OGL and he had on the Game Idea guy, Shep, Mr. Red Fox, like I said. He just a kind of person, and of course, Sprite Remix in the last end. And they talked about their predictions and stuff. So you can check out it on Dr. Feelgood's podcast and see how it goes.
I may be doing another one. probably over the weekend or Monday or whatever. But just like you, I already said it's at random, but I may do another one a little more structured and just to get a few more opinions on certain things because we kind of touched on everything, but some people weren't able to come. So if I do it again, it will be within the next few days.
Got you. Well, keep an eye out for that. If Dr. Feelgood has it there, then you guys can check it out. Again, check out Sprite Mixes on Twitch to see gameplay and he play most of those retro games. And again, people, like I said, the weekend's coming tomorrow. For those who want to, those out there who like puzzle games, again, check. I'm seriously check out the demo and see if it's for you. Nothing wrong with just tasting the food and see if it's good. Sushi Strikers, check it out, see if it's good. Like I said, I like it. I am gonna get it. Check it out. And
hey, guess what? I got Shaq Fu Legend Reborn.
Well, we know that, and that's what I'm saying.
That game has some really good music, though. I'm not lying. It does have some.
That's another game that I am gonna pick up, but not now. But I'm gonna pick up too because again, I saw that. I know you would get it because you bought NBA Playgrounds, and I know I saw it also from SK Massive. He got it. And I think he got the same reason. And I've seen that, and when it first came out, it was trending. It was on YouTube. That game, it was trending. Like people were playing it. I was like, wow, okay, so hey, I know half of it is because people bought it. It is a free game, but most of it was people did buy it, and I hope it does really great. So we'll see how that works out. And like I said, E3 starts Saturday, so let's see if as Red Fox just said, if EA is gonna pull an egg, or they're gonna shine up a turd, or something. They're gonna do something, or Bethesda's gonna pull something that made everybody go crazy because still understand how you basically pre-ordering a concept. I don't get it, but again, it goes back to what me and Ray was saying. Gaming has come to a point now where the buzz name just sells itself. It just you don't even see nothing, but just the name, a picture, like, oh man, I'm gonna pre-order this. I don't get that. I don't care if it's even Nintendo or not. I don't get that. I need to know what I'm buying.
Hell, even for me, the only reason I pre-order Smash was because Best Buy had a deal where if you pre-order the game, you get $10 free. So I'm like, well, I'll pre-order the damn game.
For you, that basically is because Game is the Lock is done, and so hey, get it while you can.
Yeah, I know. I'm gonna be abusing that shit for the next year.
Basically. But other than that, like I said, check these guys out channel, and like I said, E3, we'll see what happens. And I think maybe, like I said, I don't know if I'll join if you do a random again. Sorry, Doc. I was, like I said, Monday's a work night, so just tired and whatever. And now that I got my new schedule, it's been really burning my brains out because we just get more and more houses to build, and it's crazy. But other than that, you check these guys' stuff out. Thank you guys for joining us and sharing your thoughts. Melman, Triple M, of course, Wiser 20, Wiser 20, 23. Thank y'all for joining. And you know what I was just saying. There's no perfect game out there. What's perfect to you is not perfect to me. What's perfect to me is not perfect to you. Simply enjoy your game on all consoles,
even on PC.
Yeah, so even PC. Good night.